Let's get started.
Here we go. Now let's get it all in perspective. We did it like that, and now we do it like this.
Do not attempt to adjust your dial. I'm transmitting live. Yo,
Let's get down to business.
Now let's get it all in perspective. We did it like that, and now we do it like this.
All right.
for the underground world, every street and borough.
You may learn something.
You are now listening to the Joe Rogan Experience with Chico, Simon, and your host, Matt Floyd.
You forgot about
What
you.
about you? What about Kamara?
Did you mean to leave Chico out? I don't know. I didn't get that. You didn't say your own name.
He said Chico. He said Chico.
no,
Simon,
I know, but
and
Chico's
Matt
not
Floyd.
here at the moment. Like, he's
Is
not
this-
right beside me.
Are you leaving? You leaving the podcast?
Are you having
No.
a stroke?
No, I thought
This is how he tells us that he's not doing this anymore. He just takes himself out of the intro. Consider me the guy
Yeah.
who's not here
Gets up and
anymore.
leaves.
I was thinking so much about saying my own name.
Hey, try it all again.
You are now listening to the Joe Rogan Experience with Chico, Simon.
No, it's the Joe Rogan Experience. That's another problem. So,
Jesus Christ. Whoa.
Jamie was getting the lawsuit ready.
yeah.
You are now listening to the Joe Rogan Experience.
There we go.
With Chico,
Yep.
Simon,
Yep.
Kamar,
Uh-huh.
and your host, Matt Floyd.
Okay, third time's a charm. Nailed it. Welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience. My name is Matt Floyd, joined as always by Kamar
Welcome to the party.
and Simon. Shalom.
Greetings and salutations.
Well, there we go. How formal of you. What we do here is very simple. The three of us have listened to every episode of the Joe Rogan Experience this week. We're going to rate each episode as well as the week on a scale of 1 to 5 Jamie Vernon's. We're then going to talk about each guest, the talking points, give our opinions, this, that, and the next. Kamar, new patrons?
There are no new patrons, but a notable mention, Richard Powell edited their membership. I think he's now paying a lot more than he was, but it is from New Zealand. So
Oh, fucking
that
right.
stuff always tickles my cockles.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Thank
So
you.
far away.
Shout out to you, man.
Underneath.
What was his
the
name?
same
Richard?
Big
Shout out to you, Richard.
sky. Richard Powell, thank you very much. And thank you to all the patrons, past and present.
Do you know what the bird is for New Zealand?
The Kiwi?
That's right.
Kiwi. Get your clip farmers out there. Start clipping, like and subscribe. Leave a positive comment. That really helps. And
Where do they leave positive
Tell a
comments?
friend on the YouTube.
Oh, YouTube.
On
Apple,
Kamar's
on the
personal
Apple,
thing,
on
yeah.
the Apple, on the Podbean, and thank you to our listener on Podbean. Really appreciate all of you.
Do you want to go over the guest list, Kamar, so we can do what we do here?
Oh, what a week! What a week! What a week! Lex has come back. I don't know. I really think I'm souring on Lex.
Why is that? Well, we'll get into it, I'm sure. Okay, Lex Friedman. Who else? The
Well,
cuck.
no, I just Protect Our Parks. When was that?
That was last week.
I got it. Have you only listen on Spotify?
Yeah.
Because some of them don't show up on other apps all of a sudden. So it's 2260 Lex Friedman. Don't know how I feel about that. Then 2261 Warren Smith. Then we finish off with 2262 Dr. Mark Gordon. And he slipped in Yuri Proshishka
That scared the hell out of
as
me.
a fighting episode. But we
Yeah,
don't do
MMA,
those.
but we don't do the
But I
MMA.
like that guy.
Scared the hell out of me.
What do you rate the week? Yuri Prohoiska.
I give it 2.
Simone.
I think 2 seems about right.
Yep. Yeah. We have an agreement. I also give it a 2 in case you didn't.
Agreements.
That's a bounce.
Well, they had the ball.
Oh, that was a fumble.
They got their own
They
fumble.
did what they were supposed to do.
They recovered their own fumble, which is nice. All right, Kamar, fire it up.
First off, let's start off with 2261 Warren Smith.
I don't remember this episode at all.
The cuck. This guy watches his wife fuck for sure.
What was he? Was a journalist or something?
No, he was a. What did Bob Godwin teach?
Screen Ed.
Screen
He was a
Ed.
Screen
He
Ed.
was a Screen Ed
Screen Ed
teacher.
What
teacher.
are you
Yeah,
talking
soft-spoken
about?
Screen
Really?
Ed
He was
teacher.
a soft-spoken Screen Ed teacher
Yeah.
who got
Why was
fired.
he on?
He's Jordan Peterson 2.0.
Because he makes videos now, right?
Yeah.
That's his whole
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. all right.
He has been frequently.
What?
Sorry, what was that word?
Frequently.
Okay.
Frugal?
I heard it was. I thought it was frugal mixed with frequently, which I like. That's a new good word.
Frequently.
Frequently.
Frequently in my feed.
Yeah.
Because he's a critical thinker, like myself.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's so true, Kamar.
But
Two critical thinkers just sharing critical thoughts.
But I mean, when you think about critical thinking, I think that means thinking without emotions. That's what I think that means. If I had to put a gun in my head, and it doesn't matter how you feel about it. These are just the facts and the data.
Is that what critical thinking means?
I don't know. That's what we're
I
here,
think he was
boys.
looking for us to give
That's
him the
why we're
definition
here.
of critical thinking. So you feel like you're you and this guy are like two peas in a pod.
Well,
Like
no.
when he came on, you were like, I'm so happy this guy's here.
Well, no, he's someone thinks I should know who he is because he's on my algo. And he's always just doing videos, reacting to someone owning someone. And it's always,
Well, that's because you're always posting blogs on criticalthinkers.com.
I think the algorithm is just really so good nowadays that it can
I would
pick out
argue
all those
at
critical
this
thinkers
point,
out there, you know?
it's common sense. And the right is so much more closer to common sense.
He might have shown me the worst rap video I've ever seen today, by the way, featuring Roseanne Barr rapping.
Roseanne Barr rapping.
Yeah.
It's an actual...
Yeah.
Like she's putting out an album?
No, it's with this like super right wing.
It's the
white
nerdiest thing ever,
rapper.
but it's popular. I don't like it. I didn't like it.
It's
I was
popular?
popular.
Yeah.
I was just showing Matt
frequently.
because in it, Roseanne's rapping, but I'm sure they took a computer and used AI to make her mouth move like it's saying the words.
Did you guys obviously saw that Dave Portnoy diss track on Brianna Chicken Fry's ex-boyfriend, the country music guy there?
The one they had to take down.
Yeah, Smallest Man or whatever. Like, he raps on that, and he's fucking terrible.
But you can't do that if you have $100 million. You can do that.
You can do it.
You can do that, yeah.
Critical thinking is the ability to analyze, evaluate, and interpret information objectively and logically to form reasoned judgments and solve problems effectively. It involves questioning assumptions, identifying biases, and assessing the validity of arguments or evidence. Yeah, the logic point
So,
brings me to Spock, means me to no.
No,
He's
no,
like,
no,
he's
no.
like,
Hold on
He's
a
like, the
sec.
logic point is where I stop being a critical thinker.
no. You made it seem like you're going in there and deciding, like, who to save. The one person on your brother or the 25 people on the bus.
I think so.
Without having any emotion. And that's not.
I think so.
That is not what that said. It said to look at every angle and make the best decision possible. That doesn't mean not have a soul.
No, I didn't go that far.
You seemed pretty robotic about the whole.
Do you feel like Kamar has no soul?
No, I think he does. That's my point. He's just kind of putting on airs.
I think I often make decisions
Of
though
this
that are
critical
not that are
thinker.
unemotional though. Just really
you-
what
can you-
would be
you-
best.
can you name
You
one?
think you make unemotional decisions? That's so funny. The
I
view you have.
I
of
think if
yourself.
I say there's too many immigrants here, I don't think I'm saying that with
Whoa.
emotions. No, that's what I'm
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, but you're saying that was zero emotions for those immigrants.
yeah.
Here's the thing for listeners. Up until a few months ago, Kamar didn't really live the life that he like put forward on the show. Like, would that be accurate, Simon?
What do you mean? You think he was always
No, what I mean is
Critical
like
thinker.
stop with the critic?
What are we doing?
now that he's sober and Blazer Kamar, he's turned a leaf. But before that, he would come on here and be like, you need to live by this and that and this, and then he'd go out and not live by that. You know what I mean? Like he'd come on here and be like, you have to meditate. If you're not meditating, you're a fucking idiot. You're ruining your life. Then
Absolutely.
he'd meditate for a week and then he'd tell everyone about it and then he'd give it up. And now I feel like I can't say that because Blazer Kamar might actually be turning the corner, but
Wait until Turtleneck Kamar comes into play, because that's really when
funny you say
that's
that.
when he levels up.
I was thrifting for turtlenecks.
Dude,
I swear to fucking God.
it doesn't surprise me one single bit because I know you.
Jordan-
and you're like, what would Steve Jobs do?
Jordan,
Obviously, he would wear a turtleneck.
Jordan Peterson 2.0. They discussed our faith in institutions, which I think we go through
waves.
peaks and valleys of like thinking our institutions are doing a good thing, and then all of a sudden these guys are incompetent, like with the CIA or whatever. All the things we've seen them do, but they're still in charge, and we still think they're doing stuff. We hope that everyone's doing the best job they can do, but time and time again we find governments embezzle or whatever.
I think the problem is that we like to believe our institutions are good because we know people are terrible. You know what I mean? And
Something balances it
well,
out.
no. Then there's a disconnect where we're like, why are our institutions corrupt? And we're like, oh, they're full of people. You get what I'm saying? Like and it doesn't take a lot of corruption to create it doesn't take a little. It just takes a little corruption to create a lot.
This points to AI, but as we were discussing before off camera,
Porch Joe.
just because you're a professor or politician doesn't mean anything.
Professor of politics?
A professor or a politician.
Or a politician,
That's your title. Doesn't mean you're smarter than anyone or anything.
Well, I mean, a professor might
Would be
mean you're
smart
smarter than
in
someone.
one.
Well, that's not necessarily true. Like, my dad is a professor of neuroscience, but he knows a lot about a lot. He's just a really well-read guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I bet he's an outlier.
I think academics are usually pretty well-read people.
Well, I think in Kamar's defense, I think it depends what field of academia you're in. I would agree with you.
Yeah, if you're teaching like women's studies, you know
Well,
what I mean?
they're all
but
part
you're,
of this.
You're like throwing all the babies in
No,
with
no,
the
no, no, no,
bathwater,
Simon.
you know?
They threw all the babies in. They're saying politician, professor doesn't mean anything. Everyone has a right to opinion.
Oh, that's not your opinion.
No,
Oh,
no, sorry.
what is your opinion?
I agree. Simon, Matt thinks you have to be a lawyer to be a politician.
Oh my god.
No. I said I believe there should be a prerequisite. If you want to be a politician, you should have to be a lawyer.
Most politicians are lawyers.
But we're saying if you're a plumber and you get into politics and you get elected, you should be allowed to do that.
oh yeah.
I agree with that
I
too,
agree
Kamar.
with that too.
I'm just saying, get rid of your flashlight.
I
fucking
got
guy.
too much stuff going on here.
Listen,
I got too many props this week. I don't know what to do with myself.
Kamar, you're living in this dream world. You're doing the opposite of critical thinking, where you're using your emotions. Like emotionally, I would love it if just Joe Schmo Plumber became Prime Minister of
you're
Canada.
not listening to me. It should be that like anyone should be able to get a job,
Yes,
save
it
up
should be
money,
that.
and get
Yes.
a house.
Yes.
Anyone should be able to run
Yes.
for politics.
Yes, I agree with you in principle. It should be that way, but we both know it isn't.
Just like fried chicken and watermelon is always.
And just by the by, there is a difference between critical thinking and parroting other critical thinkers.
You demonstrate that a lot. So fried chicken and watermelon is synonymous with black people in grape drink.
Yeah,
Why?
because it's true.
Because they
Okay.
used to do cartoons about
Chicken was in it,
people
or eating
eating
watermelon.
Well, I don't know about the chicken. It's more chicken
everyone-
is like a
everyone
hood
likes-
is a hood thing.
Everyone likes fried chicken.
Listen, I'm going to give you a quick little anecdote. I'll make it fast. I have a half sister on my dad's side, and when she was born, my dad called me. He was like, "You have a baby sister." I was like, "That's awesome. What'd you guys name her?" And he said, "Keisha." And I went, "Come on, what'd you name her?" And he said, "Honest to God, we named her Keisha." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I meet her like 2 days later, and I'm like, "You're honestly naming her Keisha?" And he was like, "Yeah." Why do you keep asking? And I was like, "Well, it's a black name predominantly. I've just never met a white Keisha." And he was like, "That's just not true. That's crazy." And he's like, "We saw it in a baby book." And I was like, "Might have been a black baby book, whatever." So fast forward a few months later, we're working at this black cop's house. We're renovating his basement. And my dad buys these Cokes. He's like, "Go throw them in the freezer upstairs." I go up to the freezer. I open the freezer. There's nothing in the freezer except for frozen grape Kool-Aid. I mean, top to bottom, that's all that's in this freezer. There's nothing else. So I go downstairs and I'm kind of snickering and I say to my dad, "You'll never believe what was in the freezer." And he's like, "What?" I tell him, and he's like, "Will you stop wasting time, you fucking idiot? I don't even know what you're on about." And I said, "You've never heard that like black people love Kool-Aid?" And he's like, "No, I've never heard this. Get back to work." Cop comes home and my dad throws me under the fucking bus. He goes, "Winston, my son here says black people like Kool-Aid." And I was like, this motherfucker. And the guy, to his defense, he goes, "Yeah, Mike, we do." and then he goes, "Now I'm remembering too." He goes, "My daughter's name is Keisha." And dude, without missing a beat, the cop looks at me and he goes, "Mike, that's a black name."
Did your dad get a newfound respect for you after this?
No, he was so pissed. He was so bummed.
Ideology. When
Well,
someone
like-
threatens your ideology, you don't embrace him and change. You get angry.
Yeah, not a critical thinker.
I had a friend in high school who was a pathological liar. Did you have anyone?
Yeah.
Like crazy lies.
Yeah.
That were like.
I went to the Super Bowl this week.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
knew. Yeah.
Yes. And
Michael
be
J. Fox is my cousin.
Yeah, you'd be like, do you have any paraphernalia, like a hat or anything?
I got lost.
Yeah, no ticket stub.
and they might even orchestrate stunts to make stuff seem like it is. I can't believe you don't know the person, but it's like
I know a lot of pathological liars, Kamar. I'm just trying to narrow down the field.
He writes down Matt Floyd. Come on. Yeah, come on.
but there's this thing. I guess because we're young, it's just tolerated, and when they're not there, you'll be like, "Oh,
So full of
he's-
shit.
and everyone knows he's lying, but no one calls him out. And I don't even think you just wouldn't have anyone in your life now like that.
Well, I think part of it when you're young is you're like, do I really want to get in a physical altercation over something I don't care about? You know what I mean? Like that when you were
let
young.
you let the person hang themselves, but
Well, when you were young, it was like, if I call this guy out, if I say in front of everyone, no fucking way you were at the Super Bowl, show me a ticket. And then he just decides, like, I'm just going to punch you in the face. Now you're sitting there and you're like, was that worth it?
Yeah. The old Simon would demand the truth.
the old Simon
New Simon is like, you do you, son, you know?
now.
Yeah, Simon doesn't care now. Yeah.
Oh.
He's turned a new leaf. This is new Simon. Come on.
This is New Simon. I believe in the fucking The Matrix.
There you have
Oh,
it.
Where order and goodness
Will get
are
prevail. Yeah.
what the universe craves.
Well, Joe now believes in this a bit. I felt it. Sort of bleeding in.
Listen, I'm gonna say this, man. Here's my public service announcement for Joe. If turning Republican means that Joe is now believes in Bigfoot and ghosts, etc., then fucking make America great again.
Well, we know he
You
doesn't
what
believe
I
in
mean?
Bigfoot. We established that in the last episode.
No,
I don't know
no. He's no.
I think we opened back
No,
up the
he
door.
opened. He
Stop,
opened
stop.
back up the door.
Mark Gordon asked him, how do you feel about Bigfoot?
Whoa! We'll do that.
Oh, fine.
Okay.
Oh, I can't bring it up now because Simon's talking
You
about
can't
it.
bring it up now.
I'm just saying.
Shame.
Make America great
Shame on
again.
you.
Sure.
This is after the inauguration,
Which he went to.
Which is crazy.
Which I watched it for 12 hours.
Equally crazy.
Can we please talk about Elon Musk? Because I feel like I'm being gaslit at this point. Like he's claiming gaslighting at the same time gaslighting me.
My
You wanna
heart
talk-
goes out
hold
to
on,
you.
hold on. Wait, do you want
And
to
then
wait?
Joe
wait.
is gaslighting me also.
No, you're,
Are we-
you're a
do you
week
wanna-
behind in the media.
Do you want to talk about the salute
Yeah,
or the video games?
No. We can talk about the video games later. The salute.
The salute is nothing.
Okay, yo, say whatever you want about this guy. He Nazi saluted to the crowd and he Nazi saluted
Everyone,
to the fucking flag.
But by that rationale, everyone has Nazi saluted to every crowd. They have AOC doing it. They have Tim Walz doing it. They have Kamala doing it. This literally.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
The dust doesn't settle.
I guess it just looks different when an actual Nazi
But
doesn't.
Simon, me watching that live said, well, this is good.
This isn't gonna be good.
This is going to go well. There's no way you can spin it. And what freaked me out is.
But they did spin it. You're spinning it.
I don't.
No. They
There's a collusion that came, but someone on Facebook goes, guys, we all saw it. He did it. I despise this person and disagree with them totally. And that was what you said. Okay, it's not as crazy.
It's true. I just believe what he said without even knowing whether that's true. Maybe nobody's ever done
Oh,
it.
no,
you
no,
know
no.
which people have done it? Goebbels and Hitler and fucking
Here's the thing.
Tim Pool broke it down.
Von
Hold on.
Braun.
I've seen photos of AOC and Hillary and Kamala like this. I haven't seen videos. Well, there's a big difference.
Stop. Can you stop?
Simon, you can catch anyone in a photo with their hand
Yeah.
like this. I'm
Yeah.
flagging a cab, waiter, the check, please. The pony was this tall. The video's a little different. I haven't seen the videos. I believe them because why not?
I don't know.
But here, wait. Stop.
What do you think? Because you came here thinking he's obviously a dog whistle Nazi salute. That's
that's not what I think at all.
sorry.
No. I think he probably just like that's fucking what they used to do in South Africa, and he just, you know what I mean? I don't think he was like calling to his phone. But now that you say that,
And what do you think?
Maybe.
You know what we're talking about, obviously.
Yes, of course. Well, my thing is like I can't not bring up the video game thing because I think it's
because he's
very
a
important.
giant liar.
Well, no, bro, but we can bring up the video game thing. But what do you think of the salute? You saw it and you said he's doing a dog whistle to white nationalists.
Here's
He's
the
just
thing.
an
Here's the
idiot.
thing. I haven't seen the video of AOC or Kamala doing it. His was, and I know people are going to point to like his autism.
Exuberant.
I think that that's a great word. Like the hitting of the way he did
And
it.
then to turn around to do it to the flag, like you're not fucking this uber patriot. Who are you fooling
So
here?
what do you think? You just said that is that what you think it is?
Well, I don't like Elon Musk, so it's easy for me to be like,
Well,
this
that's
guy's just,
critical thinking because you're identifying a bias. Wow. Wow.
Okay,
Warren Smith.
I'll say this: whatever it was, even if it was the most loving
Bad luck.
symbol ever, do something
Yeah,
else.
that's what I'll agree with you there. I said bad luck.
Do something else.
Bad luck.
Embrace the world, Thrust your pelvis. I don't fucking care. You could have done a million other things. And the one thing that you can't do is the one you chose to do.
Well, the ADL.
Okay, so hold on. So let's just back up because we've spoken about it a couple times, and I very flippantly said I don't buy it. And I didn't care.
Have you got deeper into this since we've discussed this?
No, well, you and I had a discussion on Wednesday. He's not been privy to. So Simon, this week a guy who plays whatever, I don't know if it's Diablo. It's some
I'm privy to the whole thing.
Oh, you
right?
saw
I'm
the video?
Completely up to date.
Up to speed.
But did you watch the video?
I mean, I saw some videos. I don't know if it was the video
Okay,
we're talking about.
because there's one video that the specific guy who plays this game did,
Yeah.
where he breaks it down,
Okay.
as to like why Elon Musk is just absolutely 100%.
I think I saw a clip of that guy in another video.
Fair enough. Okay, so the fallout from it was there's a popular streamer named Asmongold who does like all sorts of weird game. He's a weird looking dude.
Yeah, they got into like discourse, right? Him and Elon.
Precisely. So Elon started accusing.
Moist criticals involved.
Yeah, well, who cares about him? Elon starts claiming that this guy works for people and that his content isn't like real. And so he asks him like, "What are you talking about? How's my content not real?" And Elon responds, "You have editors. Like I know you have editors. It's a fact. You have editors." And so he's like, "Yeah, I pay people to edit my videos. This is how YouTube works. I don't have time or knowledge to do this. They get a percentage share of my videos for editing them." And then there's this link to like, how YouTube works. And that was the first thing to me is it's like, Elon doesn't even know how YouTube works. This guy runs Twitter and he's unclear of how YouTubers make their content. So that's one big red flag. This guy's about to be in charge of cutting all sorts of government shit. He doesn't even understand the internet. So Asmongold explains this to him. And then he gets community fact checked, and then he takes away Asmongold's check mark right away.
Yeah, I saw that.
So not the free speech guy that Joe or anyone claims
But
this
it
guy
is
to be.
his company.
Okay, that's not how free speech works, though.
Well, when it was Jack Dorsey's company, if they wanted to do something, they could do it.
Yeah, and you at the time were like, they don't care about free speech. They're
No,
a
I just
threat
said
to
they
democracy.
shouldn't
Hillary does
No,
it
no,
too,
no, yeah.
Matt.
They shouldn't have the government protect.
He hates whataboutisms, but he's willing to bring them up whenever it has to do with.
I am what about
I know you are. Either way, my point is just like for Elon for you to be the richest guy on earth, that's like the accomplishment. Like there's no Diablo player on earth that's like, I would rather be the number one Diablo player than the richest guy on earth. There's nothing on earth that someone
There's
would.
a 1% chance though that he is just so crazy autistic he's killing these games.
There isn't. I watched him play the game.
It's impossible. Well,
It's a 0%
and
chance.
so the creepiness is why is he putting a cucumber down his pants?
And
Yeah.
why would he go on Rogan and brag about it?
This is my point.
You got to be some kind of stupid.
Well, you know me. I want to believe he's the 1% that doesn't exist.
No, but Simon brings up an even better point. Like, you live on the internet. You bought a company worth $23 billion. You overpaid for a company just because you had the most followers. And
you know what that is, Matt? I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
That's addict behavior. Elon Musk is on some kind of drug. No, I'm telling you. Like, I don't know what the drug is, but I know the signs of a fucking addict.
The lying about video games or the salute.
Well, look, I put it to you this way.
Everything the guy does when he goes out there and just the fucking jumping and the...
Kamar, I was explaining it to you this way. If Simon and I right now got 2 fresh PS5s and we both played 10 hours of Call of Duty, after that 10 hours, we could look at the kill to death ratio and we would have a pretty good idea of who's better at the video game.
Oh, it would be Matt.
No, and that's fine. But hear me out. That's a gauge you can use over a short period of time to decide who's better. Elon Musk, the game he's playing, you cannot have the stuff he has or get to that level without investing 20 hours a day for a year. And he doesn't even know any of it, Simon.
I know that you were telling me at bowling. He was like, oh, I have this shitty shield. It's only a level 30.
So because it's such a stupid
doesn't
thing to
wanna
lie
hear it.
about, it's
concerning.
Concerning.
It's so dumb.
Well, again, Kamar, it's just like you've reached the top. You're the CEO of 3 companies. People revere you. You don't have to be
You
the best
should never
Diablo
be
player.
talking to the peons.
Well, that too, sure.
Like, what are you doing?
By the way, I forgot. I hit 6 strikes in a row at bowling this week.
Yeah, that was something.
You remember
I bowled a
to tell us?
316. So he was there, so he knew.
Listen, if it doesn't have to do with him,
Yeah, he's out. I know. He's,
critical thinking off.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Elon
6 strikes. You're
cheating
done. That's
on
it. Huh?
Video games after the inauguration.
Again, the cheating on video games and then lying and then taking away someone's check mark because you own the company.
Oh, I
like
was gonna
all
say.
this to me is indicative of what Simon and I have been saying about this guy for the better part of 4 years. Like, I just
When
don't.
he seemed that he was actually excited, could you imagine how inspiring it would be for someone to put a flag on Mars? I said, I could not give a fuck if he did that.
Exactly.
all these rocket launches. No. I think if you said water for everyone or no one had to work, that'd be inspiring. But I feel like whatever they get to Mars, if there is Mars, will be so underwhelming for how much it takes and what could have been done in lieu of that.
Total waste.
Of course, it's a total waste. Like, he's just convinced. You know what? It doesn't even.
You know what I
don't.
think-
I don't
No,
even
but
have the breath for.
But
Elon
the weirdest thing
anymore.
about, like, he's being lied to, like, if we think that Justin Trudeau has his information and based on that he thinks he's doing the best thing possible. It may not be the best thing possible, but he thinks he is. Elon Musk has information, thinks he's doing the best thing possible, but it's not the best thing possible.
How about this? No, Joe.
Or he's a bad person. He's evil.
I think both Trudeau and Elon are bad people. Trudeau came from Klaus Schwab's school of evil. That's a fact. Like, everybody who comes out of that school shares the exact same viewpoints.
Hello, welcome to the Klaus Schwab School of Evil.
Yeah,
Please
so-
check in. Please
so-
check in at the front.
Except, you know what's weird is what's her name came out of that school.
Tulsi Gabbard.
That's right,
Yeah.
Gabbard. That's very
And
interesting.
Zelensky,
And-
who we'll get to.
I just said Zelensky, didn't I?
Oh, I thought you
Or I
said-
thought it in my head, anyways. What was I talking about?
Speaking of world leaders,
You were talking about Justin Trudeau, him being a bad person. He
Oh
went to the,
yeah, and I think that Elon is not a good person either. I think he's paid a lot of money to make you believe
He's
that
paid-
he's this uber righteous guy.
he's paid a lot of money. He has paid, or he is paid.
No. He has paid
He's paid
to
someone.
Donald Trump
Like his video
a
games.
lot of money so that you'll believe that he's a patriot and part of this new revolution. If the other guy, if he had seen, through the trees that the other guy
And
was going to
Kamala
get
won.
into power,
They'd all be there for
this
Kamala.
would all be different right now.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like this is so uber obvious that, like, as a guy who's supporting that side, you should want this motherfucker as far away from you as you can, because
nowhere
he's a
near me.
bad stank. He's a bad stank on your party.
Well, he'll be wherever they are.
Ooh, you got that
you
Elon
said,
stank on you.
That Leon stank.
He'd be in jail had Kamala won.
No.
He would be in jail?
Well, the way he was like, my heart goes out to you. Like, this was the most important election ever.
Because you know what even Kamala likes? Mad money. She would take that money in a second from Elon.
Elon would succeed despite who's in office.
Fuck, money talks, man. It
Well,
don't matter.
That reminds me, let's say I right now convince you to rob a bank, and this week we went out and robbed a bank and we got caught robbing that bank. Do you think you should be let off because I convinced you to rob that bank?
No, but you should also go to prison.
Well, I robbed the bank with him, dipshit.
Oh, you were in there with him.
So
You should tell the police and the judge I'm stupid.
It's not going to make a goddamn
You should-
difference.
You should be like, no, you can say Kamara convinced me to do it.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm asking you, should you go to jail?
Can I trust you?
Yes, he should go to jail.
He should.
He robbed the bank.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. You don't think he... Okay.
I do, yeah.
Let's do a different
No,
thing.
no, Simon,
You and me go out and we murder somebody.
Yeah.
And because I convinced you to do it. You
Yeah.
don't think you should go to jail? You fucking murdered somebody.
I 100% think I should go to jail.
What if
My point was his whole thing this whole time has been all the January 6 people should be let off because the FBI might have coerced them to go in there. And like Trump pardoned a lot of them. So I guess
he part of all of them?
Yeah. So my question to you is like, if you feel like you're righteous in this new Trump world, you can go out and assault a police officer, right? And you should be pardoned.
No, I don't think you should be.
Well, then...
Well, I'm not even sure that police officers got assaulted, Matty.
No,
There's videos of-
police
there's
officers
definitely-
got assaulted. What they're
definitely
saying is
videos of
there's ones that he should have said, you can't do that, but he said I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
blanket
Wait.
pardon.
So you agree that blanket pardoning all of them is a big fucking problem, right?
As much as all the stuff Biden did is a big fucking problem.
Oh, I hate this. I can't have these.
Well, no. Or
That's
if,
crazy.
if I could say Biden's pardons are not a problem, then Trump's pardons are not a problem.
No, both things can be problems.
Yeah.
They're both problems.
Or
You're acting like I
one can
didn't
be
sit here and
problems
say
and
I
one
had a
can
problem
not
with
be
Biden.
problems.
They're saying right now because of this, because of what Trump did with the January 6th, and what Biden did with his family, they should look at pardon powers.
They're even.
They have a clip. They have a
Even
clip.
Steven.
They have a clip of
crazy.
Rachel
That thing's
Maddow.
crazy.
Rachel Maddow saying how Trump's going to pardon his whole family, which he didn't. And then they have a clip of her now saying, "Cry me a river." Why would Biden not pardon his family? Are we even going to have this conversation?
Okay, but I'm not Rachel Maddow.
What I'm saying is they do 100% 180 in front of your face. The media.
Yeah, sure. We don't
We're
like
all
the
in
media.
agreement
What do you?
on
Yeah.
that.
So I look stupid.
That's not why you look
No,
stupid.
I'm just bringing up Kamar. Like, listen, there are people that on January 6th did assault police officers. There are people that did break camera equipment of the media.
Yeah.
And whether you agree with the media or not, that's destruction of private property.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter to me whether an FBI guy was there saying, I think it does matter a bit in sentencing. I think if you can prove I got coerced by the FBI, I think your sentence should be lowered, but you still did it. And
Yeah.
the same way I would be held or you would be held accountable.
But there's people who did nothing and went to jail.
It's
So-
like
Kamar,
so
no, hold on.
It's the baby of the bathwater.
No, it's not. Because I think
you don't have to do blanket pardons is his point.
Yeah.
Look at each case individually.
And that's what I said from the beginning.
like
Because
Kamar,
if you're in a riot, you know what I mean? You're at the Stanley Cup game in Vancouver when they lose, and you go outside and people are flipping cop cars and whatever, and you start looting store. Like if you get caught, you're liable.
yeah. Now,
Their
keep in-
pushback
just
is all
because
the
you're in a
people in the George
riot.
Floyd riots got pardoned.
Did they?
Well, by Kamala Harris, bailed out. They got free legal.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's the truth or not.
Breaking the law is breaking the law. Back to this podcast. So Winston Churchill had to keep a war going to get the Allies to come in. You understand that?
Yeah, if the war had ended, but if he could have ended the war, then why would he need the Allies?
He wanted the war.
No, he wanted to continue the war
He wanted to
after the
continue
war.
the
No, but
Not-
do you hear what I'm saying?
yes, I get what you're saying, and you are correct.
So
if
I
he
don't
could have
get it.
ended World War II and not needed the Allies, he would have done so. Kamar's argument is that he wanted to continue the war because he already had all that stuff over
But
there.
is it a heroic thing or an industrial military complex thing?
Well, they didn't do it.
They did not.
They didn't go to war with the Soviets after World War II, did they?
I forget which war they were talking about.
Dude, I had this for after show there, but
It's called the post show.
no, and just don't derail me here. Russia at one point was going to nuke China, and the Americans stepped in and persuaded them not to. Like, there's shit that happens behind the scenes that none of us are privy to until years later. You know?
Heroic.
No, I don't know what it is.
I don't
I'm
know
just-
either. I'm asking you. You're
No,
brought
no,
to
no.
the table.
No, his point is just that
I'm
there was a
just-
time in the world where Russia was going to nuke China, and he finds that to be
Like, very close
And now
to
they work.
nuking China.
And now they work closely together.
Well, that's a whole different story.
but that's interesting, isn't it?
Well, that's kind of the same across the board, you know?
I'm just saying.
Who was your enemy yesterday is your friend today.
I'm all over the place here. So they talked a bit about they played the clip of the 1940s
California,
LA wildfires.
yeah,
So
yeah.
this is, of course, climate change has to have something to do with it. But
Well, and hold on a sec, because Joe is taking like the hardest of hardline stances on this thing. Like, it has to be arson or nothing. I thought that lightning started forest fires.
there was no lightning.
Because hold on a sec. Just hold on. Lightning definitely does, because there have been forest fires long before there were fucking people and long before there were fucking cigarettes and
That doesn't mean that
arsonists
these
and-
weren't started
No,
by arsonists.
Agreed, but it doesn't necessarily 100% determine that this was started by arsonists.
Well, they're saying there was no lightning. The people did the fireworks, started a fire, it went out. Joe was like, I think they can burn underground. They totally can burn underground.
course.
Yeah.
Can burn actually for a year underground.
That's insane.
So what happened is,
Because it burns the roots.
Yeah, the roots, yeah.
That's so nuts.
if it's especially not like a really packed soil, like if the roots were in the clay, then that might do it out. But if it's a good soil, then
I mean,
they
here's
burn
the thing.
forever.
It's kind of like the masks. You know, like Joe swears that masks did nothing during COVID, but he'll still cover his mouth when he coughs, which means obviously the masks have a small effect, right? No, but hear me out. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
like with the fires, I'm not going to sit here and say 100% it's global warming, but like LA is an arid place. It is a desert. It will only get drier as
if you're getting less rainfall,
yeah.
that's probably not great for forest fires.
Yeah.
well with
But his argument is that there was never that much rainfall in LA.
Well, I mean,
That it's been a desert for the last 60 years. That's
it
his
is,
argument.
it's built where it's not supposed to be. Now the issue is
the lake thing is interesting,
There's a lot of interesting
which he
things.
was talking to Brian Callen about last week. The fact that they got rid of that, like there should be water there
That's what
for
that,
things
that-
like this.
But that's what that movie's about.
What movie?
Chinatown.
Okay.
with
I don't
Jack
remember it.
Nicholson.
Yeah, that's all about the LA water scam.
I don't even remember.
In any event, there is forest management, which we have to do even here. Like some of those fires in Jasper that we had, they're just as bad. Like no plane,
The ones in
nothing.
Jasper were worse.
Worse. I'm not.
Sorry, less damage to
I'm not
homes.
trying
but
to rate either.
yeah, I just
but
meant a larger area got
If you
burned.
want to avoid that, you have to cut a kilometer clear cut around an area.
Yeah.
But people are like, but that'll affect the bears or the cougars. So this is a weird thing, and this is back to me being an asshole. Is there any situation where something goes extinct where it's detrimental? It's more just our growth and stuff is so gross. Something else went away, but it's really not that big a deal in the big scheme of things.
well, it depends.
Like if it
well,
went
hold on.
extinct, we probably didn't need it.
Well, no, like if bees went extinct tomorrow, we're fucked.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah,
no, but
bees-
he's saying, has it happened yet?
Are there
where
examples?
there's
No, I
a-
understand what he's
where it was
saying.
effective. I mean, I think the ant, everything, if it goes out,
I mean, maybe that's why the planet is fucked up right now, because something in the past, I don't know, 100,000 years has gone extinct.
or if possible, that's an interception. If possible, if there's no humans on the planet, and it was just on fire, so overgrown. In the same way that Joe will talk to you about, you have to get rid of the bears or they'll overgrow. Because I've been watching, which always gets me, is a live video of Kailua, Hawaii.
yeah.
There's a volcano that's active right now.
Yeah.
Bubbling up. You can't really see in the day, but again, this planet is not going to cool down. It's not supposed to cool down. The middle is hot. It's surrounded by hot. I think the idea of trying to do something in hopes it lowers the temperature is more futile than doing things to adapt.
Yeah, but you're doing this crazy thing right now that you always do.
I do it every time.
Like, we should stop dumping everything in the ocean. We can
Yes,
do that.
we should.
We can and should do that, right? And
Can do that.
that would immediately help everything.
But-
I think.
I think so too, but forcing people to pay more money for fuel in hopes to stop using it.
Hold on. Stop doing that. The carbon tax, you and I both agree, is garbage. But that doesn't mean that we as people can't do much better than we are.
I don't know. I think we do pretty good.
No, pretty good is okay. But again, like Simon's brought
More
this,
so than I did 20 years ago.
sure, Simon's brought this up many times though. Like, this country stinks at recycling. All the European countries do it right. They convert it into energy and they actually recycle. It can be done. We just choose not to. So all I'm saying is, like, instead of shipping our garbage over to fucking Indonesia and having them dump it in the ocean, why not just deal with it properly? This is where Simon walks back in and goes, yeah, of course.
We've got to wrap this guy up. There's a
Yeah,
couple
no,
of
fuck,
points.
I can't believe we gave this cuck 40 minutes. Jesus.
Wrap you
It
up.
was really interesting when he got into the film. Have you guys seen the movie Monsters Ball?
Yeah.
No, I have
haven't seen
not.
it?
Never
Okay.
seen it.
Okay.
With Halle Berry, is that right?
Halle Berry,
No,
yeah.
never seen it. Because it has what's his name in it, and I'm only a fan
Billy
now,
Bob?
but didn't like him before. Yeah.
Did you see? Wow, maybe I have a stroke.
Karate Man.
No, where the time is everything. 'Cause
Everywhere, all at
he
once.
was really no semblance. Christopher Nolan, Leonardo
Inception?
DiCaprio, Inception.
I've seen Inception. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
It's the JRE movie game. The time has come again. For Matt and Simon to rack their brains to guess the budget in the box office. We all know they won't guess the year, and the Patreons are the real winners here at the JRE movie game. Come on, take it away, baby.
It's the movie game where Matt and Simon go head to head, find out what year movie came out, how much it cost to make, and how much it made at the box office. So yeah, he was really into Christopher Nolan and how he said that he made Dunkirk. Each
Talk about
story,
Memento. Memento's crazy.
each story
Yeah.
is equal time.
Yeah, it's the Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah. So he's a mathematician.
I mean, Memento's, if you watch him break down how he made Memento, it's crazy.
I always quote Memento, and no one never gets it. Yeah, that's the look of a rookie quarterback.
Simon, you ready? Yeah, come on. He should have known. And by the way, Kamar, Saquon went under. I mean, I know the game's not over, but he's not
called
playing
it.
again. Yeah.
Well, there had to be a score, and there had to be a time.
He did get 3 touchdowns.
Or Hurts isn't even there.
No, of course not. They're up by fucking 20. No one's playing anymore.
Okay, I'm ready. I guess.
All right, what year do you have, Simon?
I think I'm way off. I said 2000.
I said 2012. You're way off.
Way off.
2010. Oh. Matt's in the lead it.
Not really.
Well, closest to.
I said it cost 125 and it made 330.
Well, my years
Yeah,
caused me
definitely.
some
Yeah,
distress.
yeah.
I said it cost 46 million, and it made 282.
budget 160 million.
I'm just off.
Box office 839 million.
What? Wow, that
Christopher
killed it.
Nolan is
For
a money
such
machine.
a weird movie, though.
You know, I should have known.
Hype,
Once I
hype,
said 2012, I should have known it made almost $1 billion.
Do you
That's
remember-
Leo in it. It's
Do
a
you,
Christopher
do you
Nolan
remember though
movie.
when you went to? Well, it would have been a preview at a movie, and the city folded in on itself. The first time you saw that.
No, the best preview Christopher Nolan's ever put out was the one for The Dark Knight. That is the best. That is, I've never, when they show the first scene of them robbing the bank. That was the in theater
Heath
ad.
Ledger, Warren
Really,
Smith.
of him just shooting them all.
Yeah, and then he
shooting each
drives
other.
off in the
It's so
school
good,
bus, and
yeah.
it's like whatever, coming
Amazing.
summer of
Yeah.
20. Dude, I remember
take my
being
money,
like,
take
I don't
my
even want to
money.
watch this movie anymore. You know what I mean?
Take
Like,
my money. If you give Joe 3 hours, he will cook you, know exactly who you are, unless you're a serial killer, wrongly accused.
Or Elon Musk,
Yeah.
because he's been on
can't do
for
it,
like
see everyone.
12 hours, and Joe still has no idea who he is.
reveres him.
Warren Smith, a nice guy. One thing about Jordan Peterson, I saw in an interview, he's saying he wants to get out of. He overstepped his bounds, commenting on political stuff.
Jordan Peterson did.
In a way of self-awareness.
Interesting.
Weird. All right.
That's one of those situations where a guy gets famous for his field and all of a sudden thinks they know everything about everything, like
Yeah.
you were talking about.
Like
before.
professors.
Like some
I give this
professors.
Some professors.
I give this a 1.
We're rating it now.
Yeah, we
we
gave this
do.
guy an
Oh,
hour.
sorry,
What are you
sorry.
fucking
yeah,
nuts?
yeah. I forgot. Yeah.
1.
Yeah, one sounds good.
Joe just talked at this guy the whole time. This guy might have said 50 words the entire
It's like
time. and it
bring
was-
on a guy who shares your echo chamber so you can just echo him.
Yeah.
A great
At
example was because this guy obviously loved film, was talking about the Eyes Wide Shut, and he said, "Yeah, you were talking to Avery," and so he listened to all the information Joe got, and Joe repeated.
Yeah, nice.
It was just
So he knew he listened to the episode, but he was still gonna mansplain it to
just
him.
could you one more time your take on that, even though I heard it? Yeah,
Terrible.
It was weird.
Terrible
That'll
episode.
lose you points every time we know that. 2262, Dr. Mark Gordon.
Dr. Mark Gordon.
Gordon.
He came on the podcast and just got wasted.
Yeah, what a weird fucking episode.
This
eh?
was a weird episode, but gluto.
Oh,
This guy,
Can
this
you-
guy was shooting
sorry.
off the hip with jokes.
Sorry,
He was
can
just
you,
fucking.
can we
it's
can
like
we
Shecky
break
Green.
format here a little bit?
Do whatever you want.
Can
It's
you
your show.
start at the bottom of your notes and work to the top? Because I bet that'll make this segment way more interesting. And we're not even going to talk about glutathione because by the time we get there, we're going to have run out of time.
Yeah. Okay. Rate it. No. Joe talked about how he had a really lucid dream, and now because he's tapped into the consciousness, looks at a whole different way. And this could be where the alien encounters are coming from.
I got to tell you guys something that happened to me this week, okay? Because I find it very interesting. So I've been really into this idea since that guy has been on about order and kindness, and that's what the system, or air quotes, the universe craves.
Man, religion does work.
Listen, I totally get the idea of a lot of these religions got it right before dogma gets in the way, and then the whole thing gets bastardized. Like I'm there for that. You know what I mean? Like that. That's why kind of Buddhism makes sense for the most part. And then you're like, but then there's all this meditating. You know what I mean? Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah.
Something happened to you.
So I was in my car the other day.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, where am I the most like mean to people?
In your
And
car.
it's in my car
Yeah,
for
without
sure.
a doubt.
I am. I don't know if you've ever seen the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia clip where what's his name is driving his Range Rover and everyone is a stupid cow and he's getting so mad. I'm just like, oh shit, that's me, So anyway, so I'm in my car and I come to this like epiphany. I'm like, this is exactly what he was talking about. Here is a system that depends on order and kindness to function. And this kind of thing is what the universe is craving. These systems it's set up and then the order that comes from them.
The social contract that you don't run over someone when they cross the street in front of you.
Exactly. That's the love part of it. We all know that you can't let every single person in. This is an analogy and a truth, okay? You can't let every single person in because you'll slow down traffic and
You're working for everyone here.
and it will defeat the purpose of the order.
Yeah.
But when you can, you let that person in. That's the kindness. And that keeps the system running. You know what I mean? And you can translate that to whatever system you want.
Yeah.
And that order and kindness will apply. Okay. Anyways, so spring forward, I'm sleeping the other night
Okay.
and I have one of the craziest dreams I've ever had. Just, it was so fucking real and kind of weird, but not weird. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then I woke up and I was drenched in sweat. Things had been going on. And I like got up and I had a cigarette because I was so like phased by the whole thing. And I started thinking to myself, this is at like 4:00 in the morning. I'm like, I provided zero order in this dream. Like I the universe can't like this because I was all over the place. I was doing bad things. I wasn't like following anyways.
What kind of bad things?
Just whatever. In my dream, I was only worried about myself.
Yeah, selfish.
And I had to be because it was so fucking nuts. You know what I mean? Anyways, so I was like, you know what? I have to like be better. This is what I'm thinking in the middle of the night. I have to be better in my dream. I go back to sleep. I end up in the same dream. Okay? And
Because you willed it back. You're thinking about it.
And Matt, I fixed it. I went in.
you
I
were-
was
you restored
clear-headed.
order?
I was clear-headed. I restored order. I fixed the problems that I had started in the first part. I woke up in the morning. I felt amazing. Like I had accomplished
All
this
was
thing.
well.
Yeah, it was really fucking cool. You know what I mean? And then that got me to thinking, okay, so the first part of, anyways, dreams,
Yeah.
the crazier they are,
Yeah.
the further you are from base reality, which is this one. And like I was talking about last week, it's like the slides, you know what I mean? You just, if you're having the craziest dream, it's because rules don't apply. That universe doesn't have enough order because the people aren't good. There's not enough love. There's not enough cooperation. You know what I mean? Anyways, then I was thinking, just separate note, okay?
If I went on this long, he'd be not only tuned out, he'd be like, come on, get to it.
Yeah, but this is interesting shit, man.
Yeah, your passions are a lot more narrower. You'd be talking about music or video games.
Shut up, Kamar. Keep going.
So then I was thinking about sleep, just as this is separate.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Isn't sleep like the ultimate meditation?
Yep.
Like we strive to meditate while we're awake so we can get to this other realm where you get it every night when you go to sleep because you're shutting. The whole point of meditation is to think about nothing. Let the thoughts come and let them go. That's no matter what meditation you're doing, that's the thing. You do that when you sleep, whether you like it or it's like the Buddha said. I don't remember the exact quote, but the gist of it was, why would I walk 1,000 miles when I can take the bus?
Very.
Like
and,
just
you can't function without it.
go to sleep. Anyways, that's what I was thinking.
You
Okay.
have to do it.
Normally, this guy's telling you to keep your eyes open. And
Then, and I'm sorry, just to wrap this up because this all came at once.
This is very appreciated. Simon.
Who is running the show, the program, and is you helping it because it craves order? Does that help you?
you believe it does?
And
Doug?
can you even think about it that way? You know what I mean? It's just religion. It's faith. You have to work on faith.
I was talking to our Buddhist friend about this podcast.
Okay.
Said you should listen to him, and he immediately was like, "Nah, no, I actually know." So I want to hear someone talk about what they don't know. And I was like, "No, but it's just the positivity." And when I broke it down to so what he's talking about will never happen because there's too many people. But say you had only 1,000 people on the planet Earth, and you get everyone on the same page. Maybe they get this frequency on the same page, and it could be possible.
No, but it happens all the time is the point. If it wasn't happening, Kamar, if the system wasn't getting enough order and chaos or enough love and order, we would be in a lesser reality.
He was violently offended by this guy, and was like, "I'm not trying to be mean." And I was like, "I don't care." Like, I just I said the same way I like Terrence Howard.
This is hilarious because I have just formulated a thing that works for me. Do you know what I mean? I took what I heard from this guy,
Well, that guy's full of shit according to this guy.
translated it into what I think,
Yeah.
and created
it makes sense.
a belief that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Critically.
And you're going to tell me that our friend thinks that because his thing was written by some guy 1,000,000 years ago, that it's any more valid than what I created? That's bullshit.
Not trying to be mean. Well, no, but
That's bullshit.
What I was saying is I think had he given any sort of anything, it would have been more interesting. But the fact that he was like all against it, then it must be it.
It must be it.
It
Yeah,
must be it.
yeah, it's going against what he believes, so it must be.
And he said, "Oh, it's cool. That is sort of like Buddhism in this way or
It
whatever."
is
but
exactly like it.
no, it's the guy's full of shit. He's a grifter. This and that, and the other.
Wow.
So
Okay. well,
I just thought it was very interesting, and I regretted because if you guys ever join the Patreon at the end of the post show, we recommend which episode we'd have some. And this was, even though I said I would recommend this episode, I recommended someone and I regretted it.
Like if God existed,
Yeah.
what do you think God would want? Probably something along the lines of, maybe not in these exact words, but love and order. Love from the people on the planet, and some order so it's not just mass chaos. You know what I mean?
But
I don't know. That's what
here's
I
where
think.
I would push back is if there was a God that created the whole universe, I think that the chaoses would created us. And so I think it's more of a balance than getting rid of the chaos.
Why did the chaos create us?
But I think because without the chaos, you don't have the whole creation of the universe. I think the chaos is what led the bacteria to become, you know what I mean? I just think all of that chaos is what,
Well, I mean, if you have a creator
yeah.
and we're created in his image, which is what
Well,
that guy
that's,
said.
yeah, okay.
No, if that's it, then the ants is God, right? Because there's more ants than humans, or mass wise.
We're not talking about numbers. What does numbers have to do with it?
There's more ants than
Kamar's
people.
point is like, why, like, we do this like he created them in our image when Kamar's saying that maybe ants like in your favorite book, maybe the rats are running it.
The mice, yeah.
And yeah, so maybe God's a rat. And he's like, you people don't matter. It's actually the rats that I care about. And as long as there's order in the rat world, whatever you fucking idiots do doesn't matter.
I mean,
or like Kamar's saying, the
that's-
ants.
That's possible. Then I just
God
yeah.
could literally just be saying, as
Totally.
long as the ant colonies are strong, then the earth is great. And I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
care. Like, you guys can think about
Could be
what
saying that.
consciousness all you
He
want.
still wants order.
I'm glad to have this next one. Are you happy with your phone? And would you like to just be your death phone?
No, I want the new one.
You want the new one?
I mean, I need the new one.
Yeah, Simon's is being
And
held
then
together
look at
with duct tape.
phones, but you're not looking. Okay, you're not looking for any more functionality because I mean, this phone could probably do 100 things that I don't even know it could do. They could probably help my life or whatever, but I'm not going to figure them out. So I don't really need the next phone.
It's just the camera for me, to be fair and honest.
Then get a fucking Huawei because you'll get a Leica camera.
You can't get a Huawei, retard. So that's
I
why
think
I
you
would
get
just
a like
whoa,
a Huawei.
whoa.
I've been saying what in my set lately, and it
know.
really offends people.
I don't know
Simon.
if that required a retard.
Okay, fine. I take it
Huawei.
back. Dummy. No,
Okay, dummies.
Simon, you're forgetting I have a good camera. It's just that I don't want it. I don't want to bring that everywhere.
Matt will get a new phone and he'll tell me about some 4 new things that he's all geeked on. And I can't even absorb them because, like you said, there are 1,000 things that I'm not doing.
But don't you ride dirty? Whatever phone Matt gets, you get.
No, I'm on like a 11.
Oh, wow, separation begins.
What is he
I don't know
talking
what he's
about?
that.
What is your? Do you, think
that
I just
do you know
copy
that I
all the
s-
technology
I see
Matt
Simon,
has?
Do you know that I see Simon once a
You guys are
week?
taking it personally. I
hate this
No,
guy.
I think we all should be on the same phones. And I realized we're not even close. I thought we had the same phones. I think you have the same phone as you.
But we're all Apple. That's what matters.
I have a 13. I don't know what
We're
you
all
have.
in the same religion, Kamar. Because if we wouldn't be friends.
No, you got to open up. Go to About.
Oh,
Like, open up
the people aren't listening for this.
Well, whatever. Hit your settings and then go to About, and you can tell me all
People
about your
aren't listening
fucking.
for this. What are they listening for?
So Joe asked Mr. Gardner, so are you still doing martial arts? No.
Thank God. Then we didn't have to hear about it.
You know what I do? I'm planting plants, and I think. Oh, I was talking about Matt about. I don't want to talk like this because a little bit. When you're not partying, you're a lot more like you do stuff.
Boring.
Or no, you could see how people would do activities.
Okay, yeah.
Like when you go to something like, what made you think of building these shelves and all this? It's just because you can do it and you think about it.
And yet I still haven't gotten any phone calls like, hey, let's go play pool or something, you know?
We aren't his friends.
No. I'm talking about personal development, whatever. He plants plants.
Okay.
Whatever you do.
He really wanted to finish that bottle, eh?
I think
Oh,
you
yeah.
did. I think you did. Now this.
What are you doing, Kamar?
What am I doing?
Well, what plants are you planting?
No, I just cleaned my room. Like I'm way back.
He's
but-
still reading the Jordan Peterson book. I haven't cleaned my room yet.
He's wiping the Cheetos dust off his
Yeah.
fingers.
Everyone developed.
Can I really do much more?
Baby steps, buddy. Baby steps.
Everyone's developing.
Yeah. Gotta start
their
somewhere.
own thing. But I think about doing stuff.
Well, that's the first step in doing stuff is thinking about doing the stuff.
I cleaned up my weed box.
Nice. Nice. No, but really, how are you filling your non-drunk time?
What are you talking about? Look at him. He looks great.
I-
He showed up here early. He's got
I-
a car.
So
He's
you're
got nice
13?
shoes. Like,
Yeah.
He's not. Are you
no, that's
working
you have a
out?
12.
Yeah.
I have a 13, yeah.
Because that's what usually
I do this. Well, okay.
I'm better than him.
I was about
what
to
if
be-
I told you that I have a 14?
Oh, you'd be better than me. I was about to bring up Bigfoot, but since you went there.
No, bring it up. Bring it up.
So Jane Goodall believes there's Bigfoot for the same reason I think, if you can imagine it, it's possible.
Oh, I thought he was going to pull some Trumpism out of there. Like, Jane Goodall thinks that Bigfoot's real the same way I think Donald Trump is America's savior.
Well, she actually said that it's because every single country has their own Bigfoot. And how would that happen?
And
if
she
that-
said everyone knows there's no Loch Ness monster. So it's like she's open to everything. There is.
She's just open to the thing in her field.
Well, no, but
I don't study marine life, therefore
do you
the
think-
Loch
do you
Ness
think-
monster.
Do you think you believed in Bigfoot before you didn't believe in him?
I mean, when you're a kid, it's a cartoon. So, like, I don't know.
What was the cartoon?
I'm just saying, you always saw it as a cartoon.
Well-
First of all, when you're a kid, all you pay attention was cartoons. So if there was a Bigfoot show on TV, I probably didn't watch it.
Harry and the Hendersons. That would have
was a
been the
film.
big one.
Yeah,
I know,
okay.
but I'm just
I
saying.
feel
that
like
would've-
it would start with the abominable snowman in Rudolph the
Rudolph,
Red-Nosed
good one.
Reindeer.
So somewhat animated,
was
yeah.
the first mention of
and
something
not
like
the
that.
right proportions, but okay.
It's a claymation, for fuck's sake.
Simon, not the right proportions for the thing we've never found, and that I have no proof
We know
exists.
that it's not like 30 feet tall. Would find
On
it.
the other hand, we know there are apes that can look human-like and
Yeah.
are quite large.
And the fucking ones they found, the lion eaters, they don't even go up in the trees. They're so big.
So it could be somewhere in between there.
Yeah.
But Joe definitely hasn't closed the book.
They don't even go up in the trees. They're so big.
The problem with Joe is that, and listen, I give him all the credit in the world. Like I said, make America great again. Like, this guy's on fire with what he believes in now.
Oh, he's fully bought in.
Yeah,
He's
there's
invested.
pretty little he doesn't believe in. But his problem is he's like, well, I've listened to alien abduction guys that I believe. You know what I mean? And that's because he's had some like pretty credible alien abduction guys on. The Bigfoot, he says, I've talked to Bigfoot guys and I don't believe any of them. I saw the guys he talked to. You know what I mean? On his show. They were fucking weird yokels, you know? They didn't pick the right guy. All I'm saying is I've heard a couple of Bigfoot stories of people telling their story where my bullshit detector doesn't go off. Some of them
but you wanna believe.
No, some of them I'm like
Video or just audio?
no, it's just somebody telling their story.
But you never
though.
see their face. I'm just wondering because
Yeah, he's asking if it's a,
communication is more than just.
Right.
is it a
Yeah.
soft white underbelly situation?
I mean, I have seen soft white underbelly ones, but for the most part, I'm not seeing their face. In all fairness, I'm not seeing
And
their
sorry, just a follow up. Have you ever seen some and you're like, this guy's full of shit?
100%.
Okay.
Kamar,
That's identifying your bias.
most of them, I'm like, this guy is full of shit.
So what makes you believe some people versus others?
I mean, mostly it's like if you a lot
Star
of the,
David.
Well, no,
I forgot
a lot of them are like, you know, yeah, I've ran into Bigfoot like multiple times, and I've seen Dogman a couple times. And you're just like, why does so much shit happen to you?
Yeah, this
You
guy.
know?
I bumped into
Nothing happens
I
to
bumped
me.
into Mothman at the bar the other night.
I guess some people are just more open
Too
to
much commonality.
to whatever. Anyways.
What's up, buddy?
Good for Joe. That's all I'm going to say about Bigfoot. I'm not going to take up a lot of time with this Bigfoot thing, but good for Joe for not being so close-minded. And if it took Donald Trump to do that, well, say it with me, guys.
Yeah, make America great again.
That's right.
Fuck, I hate Donald Trump.
Three-fingered.
Oh, can I just say something about Donald Trump really
Yeah,
quick?
sure, go nuts.
You know what Donald Trump is? He's like the equivalent of Uber or Airbnb or any of these things that they like bring in to like buck the norm.
And then it ends up
Disruptor.
being way shittier.
A disruptor. Thank
Yeah.
you, Kamar. And we're all like, this is fucking amazing. And then as soon as you get used to it,
And 5 years later, it's garbage and it's more expensive
and
than
it's
the
more
original
expensive,
thing. And you're like, what did we do this for?
It's like I'm watching streaming TV the other day, and I'm getting more commercials than I got when I used to get cable TV.
My favorite is people.
It's insane.
My favorite is
Paramount's over the
the
top.
best is people like Kamar that don't live in that country, want to make it great so that this country can become worse. That's what I love the most.
There's an ad on Prime
Yeah.
where it comes up at the beginning of your show,
Yeah.
and it says, we're going to feed you these 6 commercials now so you'll get limited commercials throughout your
No, this is actually
program.
what they say.
Not 0 commercials, limited commercials.
No, what they say is this. They go, this is shown with limited commercials brought to you by these 3 companies, and they show you 3 ads before, which is crazy because I
Twice.
pay for
They
it.
show each one twice because they just want to waste your time.
It's nuts. I can't believe that I pay $100 a year.
No, it's mental. And like I said, it's like Trump. Like he was saying all the right things. Everybody was with him, and then he gets in, and
One thing I'll
things
just
are going nuts.
get back to that is they're saying that the trade between provinces in this country is more restrictive than our trade with the United States, and people don't even realize that. And you can see that with certain industries you can't work in other provinces. But Joe has said if Trump does that, he's on the clock.
Well,
There's no way Joe can Elon Musk for Trump if Trump just
He
fucks.
will.
I'm stupid. Okay.
Well, okay, if he does that,
He
then
helped get
we
him
stop.
in. He
We
has
stop.
to.
We stop.
Well,
I'm stupid. Okay.
yeah, I agree.
If
Clip that.
if Trump is putting tariffs on other countries, meaning that it's going to be more expensive to bring in goods from China,
yeah.
the companies pass that along to
Yeah.
the consumer.
Always,
So
yeah,
the only
100% of the
person he's saying we're just going to make it all here. Well, you can't. You can't. Like, you know how long it's going to take to set up toothpaste factories? Like,
Longer
this shit
than 4
doesn't.
years.
So longer than 4 years, and then the
Probably,
person's just going to
realistically.
reverse everything he did anyways.
That's what I was thinking about is why we always ask why is more stuff not made here. Like we're a small country, we have enough people, maybe we have more jobs.
The price of making stuff. We want fucking $22 an hour.
The price of making stuff, but I'm sure environmental concern is part of it. If we had all these factories producing all this stuff, that we'd be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're adverse to doing that.
Well, that's why the whole carbon tax is so stupid, because it's like you want to tax citizens of this country for using everyday things. We are a carbon neutral country. We're partly carbon neutral because we ship we manufacture everything in another country who is the #1 carbon contributor.
That is all from the playbook of the School of Evil. That whole carbon tax, that whole thing is all from the fucking, what's his name, School of Evil. What I was going to say, though, is I saw the best video this week. Guy goes into the Mar-a-Lago Trump store. You know how he's the president, but he's still selling Trump watches
Obviously,
and the
yeah.
whole fucking thing. Everything in the store is made in China.
Of course.
Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Well, I mean, hold on. In Trump's defense, you can't make those things in the U.S. right now. So what's he going to do?
Well, I know, Matt, I know.
Well,
They were
that's his
talking about
point.
the-
His point is that I want to bring jobs. I want to make these things here so that I don't have to.
Yeah. But if your now whole thing
Put up or shut up.
is,
I get it.
I'm going to tariff, so you guys are all going to pay more, then you should not sell any of that stuff. Just the store should go away until
nah.
you can figure out a way to get it made here.
That's not capitalism.
I agree with Kumar.
Canada's
guys are nuts.
the Canada not for sale hats are coming from Bangladesh. You know that guy made $450,000 in 2 hours or 24 hours. Primeval.
Well, I'm sure he was printing them here.
Oh, hold on. And I will edit this out, Simon. This is the t-shirt we make for our 1,000 Eagles shooting machine guns. Fuck Canada, make it 40%. Dude, we'll make 400 grand in a week. Some Trump people.
Well, I think we should take Alaska if we're serious about this instead of the tariffs.
Do you know the story of how here? You know
They
the story.
bought Alaska for like
Well, no, but it's
We're taking it back.
no. So what happened was there was going to be a vote on it.
$8 million.
There was going to be a vote on it, and at the last minute, the U.S. was like, "We get to send like I can't remember what it was. Is like they pulled some shit where they were like, we're going to send an extra delegate to vote." So it was like the U.S. got 2 votes, Russia got a vote, and Canada got a vote on who got Alaska.
Well, no, Russia owned Alaska. They sold it to the United States.
They were going to sell it to us.
Oh, I see.
That was the point. Is it was
Gotcha.
like a bidding war, and it came down to like I know I'm getting this
Well, I
wrong
think
But
we
then
just-
what does the votes have to do with it?
because that's how they decided it.
If
They just
Trump imposes the tariffs, we
Oh,
hold
decided who
Alaska
they'd sell it to?
hostage.
yeah.
Anyways.
We'll hold it hostage.
I just don't understand with him only in office for 4 years, how he's just hoping he'll start it and then whoever comes next will keep.
Well, I mean,
Pumping this America First
If
thing?
it's booming, why would someone?
You think it could possibly start booming in 4 years? You think they could like build all the factories they need in 4 years?
No, I'm saying if it is successful, then why would someone stop it? If it's not successful,
Well,
then
if
it's easy to say why someone would
if the
stop it.
left gets in, they're going to stop it regardless. That's how it always works. It doesn't
Well,
matter if it's successful or not.
I would say that
that's the way it works
right
here.
Now, here, the Liberal Party is like in 2 weeks going to change its position and come back to the center
because of Carney.
or whatever because they've got to get the stank of Trudeau off.
Yeah,
them.
no, agreed.
And the Democratic Party could come close to the center. We'll see. Primeval, Joe hasn't seen it yet, but I think,
No, we'll know when he
I
sees
think
it.
we'll
He'll
know
talk
when he
about
sees
it for
but he was just talking about
He'll have all sorts of problems with it because he's an expert on Indian.
like he had the
culture.
problem with the landman daughter being too old. So if I'm going to jerk off to a guy's fucking 6-year-old daughter,
better
I
be
want her to be
16.
18 for at least 6.
It's like this is perfect. You jerk off to her and she's of age. Like, what's your
I
problem?
have daughters, you know that. It was weird, right?
It was weird.
We all heard that.
I don't know
weird.
why he wants a younger girl in that role. I don't know why it matters to
Fantastic.
him. You know what never occurred to me? That girl was older than they said she was.
Well, I knew she wasn't 16 because I was watching her.
I didn't even know they wanted her to be 16. I thought she was 19.
She
I
was,
didn't even
she was out of high
fucking-
school. Anyways, it didn't bother me. Trump derangement syndrome is an actual big thing. But this is what I want to get to at the point of this is,
3 toes.
no, we'll finish that.
That's where you were going.
Being alive and being optional. And we always say we're not doing well enough to be in the best health, but maybe that's like a bad excuse. And getting the best health on the way there, everything falls together.
Yeah,
because
no.
it's actually the thing you can change.
I think you are probably right about that.
So I think that's, you know what a lot of people are saying? The noise and the sound. They use Trump as an example of it. And
Roll Tide.
there's a lot of noise with the exercise and the diet and the stuff and that. But the sound is, you're not doing yourself any favors being unhealthy.
Yeah, like there's a lot of noise and not a lot of sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 3-fingered aliens, mummies in Peru. That should be everyone know that as everyone knows the Holocaust.
So
right?
So just hold on. Was this like a new thing they were talking about? Because this happened like a year ago with these aliens coming out of Peru.
But in time with aliens, isn't that new?
Sorry? No.
Yeah, but this guy hadn't been on for like 4 years, he was saying.
No, but Joe brought it up. Joe brought these weird aliens up, pulled up the article. It's all about Jaime Moselle or whatever the fuck his name is, who's like proven to be a hoaxer. Mm-hmm. This is like the 5th time he's carted out these aliens.
Well, didn't they mention that? Didn't he say like this guy's
Well,
known
no.
to be a
After they had
Yeah,
already
yeah.
talked. So I'm just wondering, are
No,
they just
they're-
talking
they're
about an
dolls
old-
made from earthly bones.
some of them? And again, that might just be a thing where that's what media wants you to think. You know what I mean? And
But if it's real, then the whole world should just know about it. Like we know about the pyramids, like we know about the Taj Mahal, like we know about Niagara Falls.
But aren't there a lot of things we should know about that
well, same
we
with
don't?
same with giants, right?
Well-
like if we really did have giants, like if people were bigger, why is that not just part of our history? Why do we always have to be the same size all throughout history?
Again, I don't worry about that stuff. But yeah, however China was in 1857, how you look how America was in 1857, and not knowing anything about that is it. I'm just saying, building techniques or whatever, lots of histories are hidden. So I could see how a 3-fingered alien would only make it could be the lore of all of South America and not get up here. But I want, if it's a real alien discovered, just to be a common knowledge around the world, bipartisan.
A new whistleblower came out in the alien world, another government guy.
U.S. government guy.
Yeah.
And what did he say?
Pretty much the same kind of things that
Same old bullshit.
Grush said. I'm privy to things we
I know
found.
stuff. I can't tell you about it. That sort of thing.
No, he told us about
Okay.
it because he's not like bound by
Gotcha.
the whatever. I don't know. I don't know if it. There's still no proof.
You just
know?
said like Grush, so my assumption was that he came on and was like, "I know all this stuff. I'm not privy to talk about it," which
We
is
can
kind of
talk about it
frustrating.
in a
Yeah, I can
skiff.
tell you at dinner later on,
In
like
a
that.
skiff.
Yeah, that
That's
sort of
the-
fucking stupid thing.
I hate this.
which I thought was a boat, but
It's not. We all thought it was a boat. I don't think you're alone there, Simon.
You're gonna take him out in a boat in the middle of a lake, and that's where you can tell
Yeah.
him all the secrets. I mean, that makes sense.
Imagine if that's what the government did things.
Dude, that would be amazing.
Like in the Pentagon in the middle, there's just like a lake, and they're just like, go out on the boat, and you can talk about it there.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it works at Camp David, because that's the only place they know it's not bugged.
Yeah.
And little do they know the
Yeah.
dolphins have recording devices.
All fake
on
dolphins.
Even the introduction of money into society as a thing. Because I'm imagining when they were talking about the guano wars,
Yeah, the
where
batshit,
fertilizer
yeah.
was the most valuable thing, is just about food.
Or tea.
Just growing stuff. But I think money being introduced into our system is like a not evil, but not part of the plan thing. I think we could operate. May not look like that, but money's a weird thing.
I just think it's tough to. I don't know
It's
that.
a
with-
weird variable.
I agree, but without money, do we have anything? Do we make anything?
Yeah, I make.
Well, because you still need a barter.
I make all the shoes, and the person. Who
I
makes
still
the
need
pants.
to
I'm not
trade
saying- listen,
you
I'm
my
s-
cows
hear
for
me out.
your fucking
We
horseshoes.
have absolutely all the necessities. I agree with you. Like you'll have shoes, clothes, and food, but like yachts are a good example. Like no one's gonna build a yacht
yeah,
because
but
there'll be nothing to
maybe
barter.
exactly. Maybe we don't need those things. is
No,
the
a
point.
bunch of
saying we
people would
don't.
make
Those things
a
don't-
big yacht that everyone can go on to.
But I'm
It's called-
just,
his name is Noah.
Noah. Yes.
but Simon, even then, like I don't think medical advances get where they get without money.
Well, we cannot even do it because all we know is this.
Yeah, I agree.
But there was a time where there wasn't.
That's right.
I mean, they
No,
use
but-
something. They always use something. There was a time where there was no currency
I
per
mean-
se.
I mean-
like the Netherlands traded tulips as money.
Money seems to me like a no-brainer. Like once you have bartering, it doesn't take long to it's not so many steps to get to the next thing, which is
Well, don't forget money.
you
hold
give
on.
me something for my thing so I can give that something to
Don't
someone
forget
else.
to-
The
wait.
interest is the problem with the money.
Sure, but you're forgetting too, like money at its very core was just like, I have all this gold. I want to keep it somewhere safe. And so this guy gave me a note that said, this is worth gold. And it's debt. That's all money is.
But the interest
So
is
I guess he's saying before gold then. Like before when it was just my chickens for your horseshoes.
it's too far back, I guess.
Because, right, that's money.
You're I think more you're talking about the reserve, the Federal Reserve. The idea of money in this new world
No, I would just say
has been corrupt right from the start.
I imagine that fertilizer to make soil really fertile was the most important thing because it was just about food, not about money.
Right. And that's where salt comes into play, right?
Well, salt both ways, right? Because you could ruin someone's field. With
No, wasn't it
enough salt.
ammonia? It was ammonia. That was like the key to fertilizer.
No. I'm talking about, he was saying food.
Yeah.
And we grow our food and then we needed to make it taste good. And that's why salt became the most important thing, right?
I don't know.
And it could also preserve your food. It could do a lot of different things.
By the way, we didn't get Alaska because of Great Britain. That's why. 'Cause
Great
the Russians
Britain voted against us.
No, so the Russians didn't want to. The Russians didn't like Great Britain,
Mm-hmm.
and they had just taken dominion over Canada, which mean the same year that they sold it to the U.S. And so that was the
why
whole-
on earth did they sell it in the first place? Why
Well,
would they
it's actually
give
funny.
up that type of fucking?
No, you're
needed
forgetting.
the money.
No, you're forgetting. It was at the time. It was regarded in 1867. Alaska was regarded as a giant shitty sheet of ice that was unusable. The U.S. looked at the guy that bought it for the $8 million like it was a terrible purchase, awful. It was 30 years later where they found gold, and then after that they found oil, and now it's become this
I
resource.
know, but for Russia,
Yeah.
It has nothing. It's all about where it is. It has nothing to do with what it is.
I think for them though, it's you have to cross the Bering Strait to get to it, or the land bridge, and
They
it's,
probably thought it was a lot further
it's just
away.
too far away for them to. They already have so much
What do you
land.
mean they didn't sell? They didn't sell Russia before the fucking Pangea happened.
No.
They
But
sold it in 1847.
you
or
can't
whatever.
traverse it.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your
Simon,
point?
Simon, you can't traverse it.
You can't traverse what? They have boats.
Alaska.
They have fucking.
Well,
They have planes. Like
no,
we're
they didn't have planes in 1867.
Well, first of all, this is 1867, so there were no planes,
Okay,
and whatever
so
boats you're
they-
talking about
You
were
could
not great at
traverse
cracking
the
ice.
land. Like to occupy Russia, you'd have to kill you, or Alaska from Russia, you'd have to kill yourself, climbing mountains to nowhere.
Simon, I think you're forgetting too. Just hear me out. $8 million in 1867 for a country was probably huge. It's massive. So they're selling a chunk of land that they deem as absolutely worthless.
Uninhabitable.
What you're doing is you're throwing on 150 years of time and going, how did they sell that piece of land? Like now, I bet Russia's like, we never should have done
Yeah,
that.
they're kicking themselves.
right since the beginning of whenever modern times, Russia has been trying to accumulate land. Mm-hmm. So why would they be giving it away for $8 million? They don't need fucking $8 million.
In 1867, they might
I
have.
don't know. I'd like to know what was going on there.
Simon, you're also forgetting how much land they have.
They didn't know about nuclear weapons
It's
yet.
about, like I said, it's about where it is. It's on their enemy's borders.
But they probably didn't
or
know how
their-
far that was.
I got to ask you right now,
another country's
Simon,
borders. That's a good place.
There
to
probably
have
was a
something.
mile.
if the U.S.
year
right
away.
now was like, we'll buy the Yukon from you guys for like a where every Canadian
Trillion.
gets $1 million,
Yep.
would you sell it?
Yep.
No, we wouldn't sell it.
I would
though.
sell this whole
no,
country.
but I know. I
sell you guys out for 20 bucks.
I'm saying, Matt. I'm saying Canada wouldn't sell it. We wouldn't want another country to be on both sides of us like that. It's
Yet
just
here
not-
we are.
Yeah, we're already in this position. What are you talking about?
Well, that's what you mean with Alaska.
How did the
That's
America feels
because
with the-
they got fucked by the British? I like
And America's fucked by Mexico and Canada.
two separate countries.
Brutal.
You also act like
Dude,
yeah,
do you really have that little respect for your own country
Yes.
that you're willing to
Yes,
cuck
I do.
for him?
Yes, I do.
You
Simon,
have a serious
Fuck
problem.
a country that makes you get vaccinated.
I'm just curious though. There's so many landlocked countries in the world. You're like, we already have. You wouldn't if literally right now the Canadian government was like, if you vote yes to sell the Yukon, you will get $1 million in your bank account tomorrow. You would say no. The Yukon.
Oh,
I mean-
Canada.
You're just not, you're
A
not
guy
thinking about it.
actually thought.
First, you're selling the Yukon, and then next thing you know, it's like Red Dawn over here. You know what I mean?
Except Americans, who we
Feel-
already have all
feel,
their.
Feel me?
No, I don't.
How hard would it be the Americans to get to us if we took over Alaska too?
They would take it back in a day and a
How?
half. What do you mean how? Apache helicopters, stealth bombers. What are you fucking stupid? All the stuff we don't have.
Tic
Clo-
Tacs.
Matt, we closed down our airspace.
With what?
They gotta walk
Our
up here.
biplanes?
This is hilarious.
We borrowed some helicopters. Oh, did you hear? Was this funny?
Was this funny?
Trump says you guys got to start doing something. So the RCMP bought 2 Apache helicopters.
Yeah.
That's bringing, when he says jump, you say how high to a whole new level. He says jump, you get a helicopter, just wait. No.
Well, that bit stinks.
I think 2 helicopters are hardly going to tilt the fucking.
I was jumping pretty high. A guy dressed up as a bear filmed it. Say, the dog ate my homework. Now people are out there.
What does he say?
I have no
A
idea.
guy trashed a Rolls Royce.
Okay, you
So he
forgot
put it-
that
so he
part.
put
Left that out.
He put on a bear uniform.
You just said a guy put on a bear uniform.
And like, look at this video. The bear trashing the guys. There's no way a bear would do that. Okay.
The bear also fucks the guy's wife.
I don't know why this guy was in the show. Take care of yourself. I give it a 2.
Yeah, I give it a 2.
I like this episode. I'll give it a 2.5.
All right, there you have it. We're gonna. Comar's already done. He's already out of here. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna pay a bill, and we will be right back. We're back. Thank you so much to BetterHelp. Comar, name and a number, please.
2260 Lex Friedman. Did you guys listen to his interview with Zelensky?
No.
So I think
Full disclosure, I haven't listened to Lex Friedman's podcast in probably a year.
Me too.
okay.
I have my fill of podcasts with this one. If I'm being very real, like it makes me not want to go ahead. I'm sorry.
That does. But Lex greatest strength is his greatest weakness. He's not been corrupted by pussy. But then he can, like, obviously Zelensky is very, what's it called?
Phony.
No, charismatic. Any leader, he's a TV star. If you listen to the way Zelensky's talking, even with the translation stuff, you can sort of get his tone. He's being very, my friend, and of course we are. And Lex is false for it. And I predict the same thing will happen if Lex does go to interview Putin. He'll fall for him too.
Dude, when he said, sorry, Simon, when he said he was going to go to Qatar to interview
Hamas.
Yeah, that's like the worst
but
idea I've ever heard.
And he said that's the line. He said he would not do that.
Yeah, okay. 'Cause that was fucking insane, dude.
My problem with Lex and for anyone, frankly, interviewing these world leaders is they make it seem like, oh, we're giving you him in a light you've never seen before, and it's a 3-hour interview. These guys can lie for 3 hours. They're fucking politicians.
yes.
That's what they
100%.
fucking do, man.
100%.
That's what they do.
That's how you get to the top.
I don't believe any of it. And
Especially if
frankly,
you're KGB.
it's like when he interviewed Netanyahu.
Yeah.
And you're like, you can't believe a word that comes out of this motherfucker's mouth. Like, I don't care what podcast he's on.
Yeah.
He will lie. And he has an agenda. They all have agendas. Like,
yeah, it's one thing.
the only one who doesn't have an agenda is Adam fucking.
22.
No, he has a huge agenda. No, who's the
has a
guy whose
huge
podcast
agenda.
is No Agenda?
Oh, Adam Curry.
Adam Curry. Thank you.
No, like Simon, it's one thing when someone comes on and is trying to hawk their wares. You know, I got a book and I wouldn't mind if you bought it, but I'm here to talk, like, whatever. That's what, like, we all accept that. That's kind of part and parcel. But like you're saying, like, these people, their agenda is so much deeper and grosser than trying to sell you a product.
They want your support so your government continues to give them weapons so they can fight a war that need not be fought.
Yeah. And I know Lex
that's
thinks
a hot
I know
take.
Lex
Preemptive.
and I know Lex thinks he's like fighting the good fight and
I know,
interviewing
yep.
the tough interviews and stuff. And I kind of agree with you where it's like, yeah, you're really just kind of, and again, you've fallen for Elon Musk already.
Yeah.
So you've proven that you are susceptible to like male charm, which is fucking weird. But I guess we all are, whatever.
No, we all are. I think Lex in particular because he's so like starved for
Because he never gets
love
pussy.
or
That's what
whatever.
Kamar was
Yeah.
saying, because he's never smelled pussy.
No, I mean, I truly believe that Lex must have a girlfriend by this point.
I don't want him to be, but I feel like he's like
Kind of with Kamar, man.
he's
I don't
like
know.
such a romantic. It's
Yeah.
gotta be happen some way.
It doesn't make sense. Lex
I feel like
is
Joe-
alone forever, and Elon Musk has 14 children and 6 wives. Like,
Yeah, but
like
that's
some
because
sort
he's
of
out there
vow of
slamming people on
celibacy.
Twitter,
Yeah.
slinging his dick around, saluting, yeah, like crazy. Whereas Lex is, Lex is,
notice I kept that low.
yeah, kept it low, yeah.
This can be anything. This
no,
is me petting a dog.
I think Kamar's right with the romantic thing. Like, I guarantee you, Joe has brought Lex to the whorehouse and was like, Lex, I've paid for these
Even
three.
in Drunkest Super
I've
Lex
paid.
said, "No, I'm not ready.
That's
I don't
it, yeah.
respect you."
Lex is like, can I buy them all dinner? Like, we can bring it in and maybe I can get to know them better
Can I
first.
interview them for 3 hours?
Yeah, and Joe's like, no, none of them speak fucking English. You're going to get a threesome, you're going to get your dick sucked, and you're going to move on.
And you can't shit on someone for being that way. But maybe his nuts are so clogged up full. That
Well, no.
can't be
He
straight.
must masturbate. Kamara.
Still-
You can still get it out.
I don't think you ever bust a nut like you do when you're with someone.
I get it, though. I get what Kamar's
wants
saying.
you to
Like,
be
there's
there.
a chance that
Fleshlight. I think you can fool.
there's a chance that he has sex and he comes into the next podcast smoking a cigarette with sunglasses on. You know, it's just like
It just doesn't give a fuck
Yeah.
about anything.
Well, no, but for him, I mean, he'd fall in love. He'd have children. He'd have to change his whole life.
I was going to interview Putin and stop this war, but fuck it. Fuck it. I'm getting laid.
Are there no hero scientists like Einstein? And is that strange?
No, I believe this. Hold on. Just because there are some people in science that are bought and paid for, I truly believe that a large portion of people are not.
No, but I think what Joe was saying is that everyone knew who Einstein was. He was like Michael Jordan.
I think that was purposeful.
Well, we had Carl Sagan, and now we're stuck with fucking Neil deGrasse dipshit.
Bill Nye for a second.
I think that
Is that Jim Bickford?
Yeah.
It is?
where?
Rewind it. For sure it is. He's in everything.
Let me see.
It is. Well, one of our friends, a good friend of ours, is in Mazda commercial.
Like
No,
that.
this is- hold on, look, Simon, you missed it. God damn
No,
it.
it's 100% Jim
Yeah,
Beckford.
okay,
I didn't. I just saw him the other day. Didn't mention
That's
that
funny,
he was an Infinity guy.
I've seen this commercial 100 times, and I'm like, I don't know him well enough. Like, and I'm not gonna call someone to be like, "Is Jim Bickford in this fucking ad?" But I'm glad you're here because I was been driving me
no,
nuts.
that's 100% Jimmy.
Yeah. Okay.
Too good. Looking.
Kamar's BFF.
Yeah. Too good looking. Yeah.
More like this, man.
No hero scientists.
Yeah.
Again, I think we're stuck with Neil deGrasse Tyson is trying to shoehorn himself into that position.
But Simon thinks.
Well, I think they used-
Einstein was put.
I think they used to use them back in the day because we trusted scientists so much and they needed these people in power so they could go ahead doing whatever nefarious things they wanted to do, like building atomic bombs and whatnot. And now, like, nobody believes Neil deGrasse Tyson. He can't go out there and say something and everybody's going to rally behind him. Those people don't exist anymore. If you
Simon-
mean that, then I agree.
Simon, this is crazy. I've been playing Civilization on my phone, and in the game you get great people, like great scientists, great engineers, great whatever. They can create great works of art. It doesn't matter. Some of them are like Leonardo. Like a lot of them are names you know, writers, poets, authors, artists. And then some of the great scientists are like Einstein, Da Vinci, whatever. I got one the other night, and I happened to look at the name.
If it's Elon Musk,
No,
I'm going to
no, no,
walk
no.
out.
No, it's way worse than that.
That's who it is.
It was Werner von Braun.
Shut up.
I'm not kidding.
No.
Yeah, I was like,
Really?
they just gave me a great scientist, and it's Werner von Braun. I was like, holy shit!
So that's one reason why.
Welcome to America. Here's a bunch of video games. You're just gonna have to abide by a couple of Nazis.
Dude, isn't that crazy though?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Nuts! Like I was like, dude, if you knew what this guy did,
Well, he also got the Americans to the moon, Maddie.
yeah, and I just think
Allegedly.
you and I have discussed this. I think you just bury that in a book somewhere. You know what I mean? You just quietly, you don't build a statue.
And you definitely don't put them in your video games.
no.
So that means kids are growing up thinking that.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Most people don't pay attention to that shit. I don't even know why I saw it. It's incredible I did, but it just caught my eye because I was like,
Lex wants a moon debate. Joe wants another moon debate.
yeah, Lexus seems like he really believes it, and Joe is definitely on the I don't fucking buy it.
I'd like to see Leon in on that. Leon
really.
Smuck.
Well, it would be interesting because Elon has to believe in the moon landing, right?
Has to.
'Cause Kamar,
Well,
what I was
no, not
what I was going to bring
necessarily.
up to you earlier is we were talking about Elon, and I was going to say there's a good chance that Elon knows that NASA was just stealing money for like 40
This is
years,
and he's
that
doing the same thing.
Yeah, and that he was like, I can do this.
But in all fairness, he could also believe that they never went to the moon, and he's so smart that he's finally
Yeah.
the one who's going to get us to space. I could see that. Like
Such a weird leap to imagine being like, I created a way for people to make payments online. Like, cool. What's your next thing? Like, I'm going to send people to Mars.
Yeah, that's
know
what
what
I
I
was
mean?
saying last week.
Yeah,
man.
I don't
It's
think that
nuts.
was ever part of the program.
Like, isn't that fucking weird?
I think it was world peace. No one wanted to get off the planet.
Yeah.
It's just strange.
Would you go?
and
There's
the
no
whole-
way. Would
and
you
the
go?
whole getting off the planet is really like this green initiative. It's all his Tesla thing, right? Like we have to get off the. He wants us off the planet because he believes that the planet is going to burn up, that the sun is going to burn us into oblivion, and we'll have no choice but to be an interplanetary species. That's why he's doing all of this. It's the same reason why allegedly he brought Tesla in, because we were killing the environment and we have to have electric cars that aren't going to pollute. He's so full of shit. It's crazy. No, seriously, man. Seriously. Even if Trump was the good guy you're talking about, he has surrounded himself with like one of the most fucking
Egotistical
evil,
pieces of shit.
it just weighs him down. So he thinks it's lifting him up, but it's just pulling him down.
So hard to tell.
No, not really.
No, it's-
Pretty apparent.
I can
actually
see anybody
yeah.
who has their eyes open, you know, like I say at the end of every episode, keep them open.
Well,
they can see the forest through the
sleep
trees
at
on this
knowing
one.
at night that in our lifetime there'll be definitive evidence that he was the worst thing ever or the best thing ever.
No, there might not be.
Why might there not?
Hold on, I didn't say he's the worst thing ever. He's not
Well, he's saying
worse
he's the
than
worst thing
Hitler.
ever.
I'm just saying.
I think Silent Things is worse than Hitler.
I definitely don't think he's worse than Hitler.
Obviously, you don't.
I rest my case. Look, we're
weird.
saying all I'm saying, Kamar, is like someone this revered.
It can't be.
he hasn't done.
Too good to be true.
Look at, if you cure cancer, you could be Elon Musk revered. You could have, I'm fine with that. This guy created PayPal, bought a car company, bought another company, started another company, and really, he caught a rocket. And Joe acts like he's the one
Maybe,
coding it.
allegedly.
Hold on. Here's the other thing. Joe acts like he's the one who coded catching the rocket. He has a bunch of genius MIT students there doing
Matt,
that.
he's sleeping on the factory floor.
No, he's not. He's playing fucking Diablo.
He told you that in the first Joe Rogan interview.
What I heard someone else say about him is what he does is he goes around each company when he's not playing Diablo, and he goes in and goes, figures what the biggest problem is, and then immediately goes in and just starts working on it. It's called like a Napoleon thing. Like, where's the battle? Where are we struggling? He goes there and they fight and they win. And so he just does that one thing, and it was like, oh, he's here with us, and then he'll be like, okay, I'm out, and goes the next one, and on and on.
It sounds like you're saying he's almost like a Rick Rubin, where he has no real tangible skill.
Well,
He's just a guy in the room.
Well, it feels like, for lack of a better person, he's the Einstein.
Our biggest complaint about the government that has been in office for so long, who's tied into the military industrial complex, is that they have all these fucking oligarchs who are involved in the making of the United States, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, all these people that we despise. And then Trump gets in to buck the system, and the very first thing he does is bring in all the fucking new oligarchs. You should be able to see this. This should be so fucking painfully obvious to you, and yet you're willing to just no, anything. If Trump has these guys beside them, then they must be good.
No one is without oligarchs.
That is bonkers.
No one is without oligarchs, so it's just foolish. Kamala had the support of more oligarchs than Trump did.
Kamar, we hate Kamala.
Actually, I disagree with that. You probably had realistically on that panel with him, you probably had 25% of the world's wealth.
And
more,
we
way
just said,
more
we
than
just
that.
said an hour ago that if Kamala was up there, they'd be there still.
I know, but the whole point of Trump
What about,
is
no,
that
I need to know what I need to see.
I need to know what I need to see.
You more than anyone should see this. What I don't understand what you need me to see. I want to see it.
That having all the tech billionaires up there with Trump is exactly the same thing as it was. This is no different. It's becoming the same thing.
And I would say
that's what I want you to see.
We live in a world where that's unavoidable. There's nothing that can be done.
I'm sorry. I thought that the point of Trump was, I'm this guy. I have my own money. I don't need you. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to make the changes that need. No changes are going to be made. Nothing that doesn't. Now that these guys are involved, they need to have a payoff. What's with the eyes?
He's listening to you. That's how
You're
he
not.
listens.
I realize you're not going to get to any point here. You're scared of these people.
Okay.
What's the alternative, Simon?
I don't know. I thought Trump was the alternative.
But you say he's not.
Well, Simon, in his defense,
Like-
hold on. In his defense, Trump has been in office for 2 days, so I don't know what.
No, I know, but insulating yourself with the same fucking cast of bad guys as the last time, it's just the same
just
thing
bad.
over again.
But hold on. There's an argument to be made in Kamar's defense. The argument to be made is that, yeah, the same guys are standing there, but now they're playing by different rules. So that's at least a benefit, right?
You would think, but I don't know if any of those guys play by rules.
No, I'm just saying, as far as the American people are concerned, if you're Joe America, you now feel seeing them stand beside Trump, you're I can go on Facebook and say whatever I want, like a true American should be able to, and I won't be kicked off
until
Facebook.
you insult Elon. And then you can't say whatever you want.
Hey,
Matt, I'm just
Simon,
saying
agree.
It's the same
Simon.
thing. Then agree and don't fucking
I'm trying to
gaslight
I'm
me
trying to,
and try
hold
and
on.
prop this fucking guy up.
Stop. I'm trying to better articulate his point to you, and I'm also
I understand his point. I'm not fucking stupid.
okay. Now you're mad at me, and you should be keep it directed at him. Okay. Remember, you were trying to bring positivity into the
No,
Matrix.
it's so hard sometimes, Matt. It's so fucking hard. It's so hard.
This is why Buddhist monks go up into the hills and just don't
Well,
speak.
this is why I'm not meditating. I'm just going to sleep.
You just become a narcoleptic anytime Kamar talks. You're just out like a
I'm
light.
4 dimensions away.
Kamar, I was trying to defend you there.
I appreciate it.
He's so mad. He's so mad.
I'm not mad at all.
You can't be mad at me. I'm trying to help you.
Like, if I'm trying to think, if I said, Trump's just like the rest of them, we're screwed. And that could be my other position, I think.
I don't want you to change your position. I
I don't-
don't know why
I
you're
don't-
looking at me. Look at him.
How about just this? I can see that that's probably not a good sign for the future when the broligarchs are fucking pushing their way into Donald Trump's ear.
But no matter who's in charge, the oligarchs are going to be there. So they're like a constant.
I know that's like his whole thing, the draining of the swamp, that should include the fucking billionaires.
Can I actually?
They're as much as a problem.
That's a World Economic Forum.
Can I jump in here?
No.
And I know you're going to say it's a concern one way or the other, and that's fine. I agree with you. His main concern is that, like, before it felt like the government had control over these companies. So, like, if the government, for example,
Now these companies have control of the government.
yes, I think does that make sense, Simon?
That's a big concern.
Like,
I mean-
like, hear me out. Like, when Biden or any of them were in control, they would go to Facebook and be like, "You're not fucking running that, or you're not doing business in the States. We control you." At the end of the day, whereas now we know that Donald Trump, you can say the right thing in his ear, stroke his ego a bit, and all of a sudden he changes something massively.
Yes, and I don't even know if they ever
Go on.
the broligarchs
Yeah.
were in power always.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, money controls everything.
Even though Zuck came on and was like, "Oh, the government pressured me to do," I don't believe that. You know what I mean? I think he did whatever the fuck he wanted, and it's convenient now for him to play out this narrative
That's
that no,
interesting.
I'm a little guy like you who got pushed around by the government. No. I
bet you paid a lot of money to develop that.
I just don't
Didn't even
buy.
think of it as on its own.
I don't buy any of that.
That's a good point.
I think these
Strong
guys
point.
have been manipulating government for as long as we can imagine. And look, I like the idea of getting an outsider in, even if that outsider is Donald Trump. If it really meant draining the swamp and changing this shit, and I just don't believe that's happening. I think we are just going to see a different type of
The devil we don't know.
that we don't know yet. Yeah, exactly.
That's a disappointment.
Or it is. Anyways, whatever.
But like Zelensky said, or Lex said on Zelensky's behalf, I'm sure this is what Trump would say, is, "I'm not corrupt. The system is corrupt. And you just can't operate. Like, you have to, like, stoop to the level or whatever." I think that's what
I mean, Simon, you'll like this. I saw the other day that Donald Trump has immediately one of the first things he did was the immediate release of all the JFK files
Really?
and MLK.
and MLK and the MLK assassination. Yeah. So
And this was, I said for the post show, but he pardoned Ross Ulbricht.
yeah, Silk Road got a pardon. Yeah.
That's great.
So it's for better or for worse, he seems to be doing what he said, and it's almost like a shock to people that this is happening.
Again, my problem. I know. He said he was going to pardon those people. Like I said, my problem is just the blanket pardon for you can't. Donald Trump can't be blue shield. Cops are great, but then simultaneously be like, but if a cop is protecting a building and you feel like that building is not for me, then you can go in there. Like, you just can't have it both ways, in my opinion.
Yeah. The system did not like the lack of order that provided. You know what I mean?
I think all the media that's talking about it is just putting it on. They don't care about the cops.
Keep in mind, I'm not media. I'm just giving you my personal opinion. I agree with you. I was the one that brought up the JFK thing. I said he did something right. I'm not trying to spend the next 4 years shitting on Donald Trump. I don't like him. I hope he helps the country. I hope he helps their people. I don't know if I
just think we would have had a way better shot of seeing what Donald Trump could really do if he didn't end up with the cast of cronies around him that he ended up with. It wasn't always the case. Elon wasn't involved until a year
Simon,
before election
It was
time.
the tobacco industry. It was the farm industry.
Yeah.
You just didn't
Yeah.
know who they were.
Yeah, it's true.
They've all been there.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I don't think that prior presidents have been good.
I also think you're forgetting that there's only one person to blame for this whole fucking debacle, and that's Hillary Clinton and the Democrats, because we probably would have had Bernie Sanders, probably would have had him for
You can
8
even
years.
say Obama.
It's really Obama. That's what I was thinking. If he had just kept his big mouth shut.
Sure. Oh yeah, that
No,
too.
but look, it's probably a good thing. Whether it's Trump or someone else, the idea of bucking the system, showing that somebody who's not a career politician can become president is a good one. Like I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And Trump's first time in office, he went in there, he did what he did, he didn't cause too much fucking chaos. Now he's coming in and like wanting to fight half the world. Like I don't fucking get it.
The one thing is, you know how Joe always says everything RFK said about Fauci is real because he didn't sue him. What if it's what Trump was saying about Obama is true as well? Because he never sued him. I figured he could have sued him.
About Michelle Obama or about
Birth certificate, whatever it is, whatever started this thing. Because as we talked about the Jimmy Carter funeral, they were both
Well, I was reading up on it.
thick in the thieves.
Slander cases. Is
who
it
was
slander?
both thick? Oh, at the thing. At the funeral.
I don't remember whether it's defamation or slander. They're both. One's written, one's verbal.
Libel.
Yeah.
Slander.
Either way, they're very tough to prove in court
In Canada, I think,
in the U.S.
even the U.S. as well.
Yes,
Okay.
they're very tough to prove in court. You have to prove malicious intent. You have to prove that you knowingly. It's very difficult. So it's not.
And then to get money, you have to prove that you cost that person
Yeah.
money by.
It's not as cut and dry.
slandering
Listen,
their name.
I believe that it's probably all true. But my point is just that just because he hasn't been sued doesn't necessarily.
You believe that Michelle is
No, I'm
Michael?
talking about the Fauci shit.
Gotcha.
My point remains. Forget it.
And we
Keep
don't
going.
know if there's not 17 million lawsuits that are just like
Pending.
pending. Yeah, exactly.
We probably would at this point.
I mean,
Yeah.
would we?
I
Yeah,
think,
I think you would. Yeah.
People would. That information would be valuable to someone.
I mean,
I
Joe
agree.
often says things a billion times without having any proof of what
true
he's
too, yeah.
saying.
But he says that right after I'm making shit up.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
but
talking shit.
That's okay for us
But
because
Donald
we have
Trump-
17
Donald Trump was
viewers.
doing-
It's not okay for
Donald
Joe.
Trump was
with-
doing press conferences to the news saying Obama isn't an American citizen. What happened to hipsters? Are they now the tribes in the Amazon? Have we gone that far back to keeping it real?
There are still hipsters.
Are there? I don't know. I guess I'm just not cool anymore.
That's a fun. I like that as like a sketch though.
The original hipsters.
Paul Rosalie shows up in the Amazon and it's like 5 Starbucks baristas. Like
with his theme song. No clothes.
Simon hates it. Keep going.
I'm sorry. The jungle. None of us have ever been to a jungle. I guess there's a jungle.
In Montreal, the Biodome.
The jungle.
Been there many times.
Yeah, me too.
Smoked a
It's
joint.
like the carnivorous forest, like a northern jungle.
Well,
but it's
there's a
not the same.
rainforest. You've been to the rainforest.
Yes,
That's
yes.
not the same, I guess.
But it's just this jungle where it's always a noise.
Oh wait, I feel like I was in the
Everything's
jungle
wet.
in Thailand.
Yes,
prob-
you would have
yeah.
been. You would have been.
What's your point?
It's just. It seems like an environment.
Where everything's trying to kill you?
Yeah, you want to go, but you're not welcome.
Like,
there
did
at
you
all.
go to the Outback in Australia? I feel like it's kind of the same.
You
It's very
didn't, you didn't go
unwelcoming.
to the Outback.
I went up to Brisbane and Nimbin, but no.
You went to Nimbin, the weed place?
There's no reason for you to go there. I mean, except for the solitude.
yeah.
But
There's nothing.
Well,
There's
if you want to,
nothing.
if you want to go see Ayers Rock, you gotta.
But even that, you have to go.
I know it's really far in. It's crazy. That's what I'm
it's
saying.
actually crazy that I think they stopped doing that because it's a religious site or something, but that people would do that.
Well, it's like Mecca for some people.
Apparently, I was going to do on the post show, but you get it right here. The number one tourist destination in the world is in Poland.
Is in
What?
Poland.
What is it?
It's the Tatras. It's like you climb out. It's a national park and it's all mountains.
I don't believe that.
It's pretty crazy. The
That's
views.
the number one
I don't believe
tourist
that.
5
destination in
million
the
people a year.
world.
I don't believe that.
5 million people a year.
No
So
fucking
sorry,
way.
hold on. You're telling
No
me
way.
the Eiffel
Times
Tower
Square, the
doesn't get
Eiffel's- yeah,
5
no
million
fucking
people a
way.
year?
I think it's natural.
Oh, that's totally different. So you're talking about like versus
National
like
Park,
Machu Picchu,
Wyoming,
Yeah, okay,
Machu
fine.
Picchu would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
in it. I think.
It's just
Because Simon,
More
Simon,
accessible.
Times Square,
Yes.
Times Square and Las Vegas
yeah,
are
yeah.
the 2 most visited
well,
tourist
a
attractions.
lot more
on
than
Earth.
5 million
Yeah.
people a year.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is just
The Taj Mahal,
This is a place
the
where you just
fucking-
want to
Eiffel
take
Tower
pictures.
is like number 3.
No, I know, but
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are so many that get hundreds
But
of
apparently,
millions
this
of
is
people a
more
year.
than the Grand Canyon.
Well, Grand Canyon is only people in the United States. This is everybody on that
People
side
from
of the
around
world.
the world go to the Grand Canyon, I'm sure.
The Grand Canyon's a weird one though, because like there's only certain, like you can go to the edge at spots. I mean, it depends.
you
It's,
can go
it's
to
like
the bottom?
8 different.
They have
no,
that
you
big.
can
They have that big glass bridge.
going. So like at least in Vegas, like when you can take a helicopter tour and they land in the canyon, but the only reason they can land in this like 2 acres of the canyon is because it's Native American land and the natives let them land there. But like it's all protected land. So
Environment.
yeah, so the U.S. won't let you, dude. The
commies.
guy was telling us too. He's like, if you want to raft down the Colorado River, he's like, it's like a 10-year wait list to get a permit to do it.
And you got to do it yourself.
No, it's like
Bang.
you
Oh.
get like a crew to like whitewater raft. But he was like, it's not.
That's not high on my list, so I'm not choked up about
Fuck
that.
no, I would never do that.
They lamented on how to raise a tough kid.
Yeah,
And I don't think you can necessarily do it with intention. I think you have to sort of let them fend for themselves.
just have to move to a war-torn country.
You can 100% raise a tough kid.
Just by being tough on them, though?
Yeah, just by being a fucking asshole.
I feel like in North America it's tough though, just because of all the opulence we have.
Do you... Oh, I don't know.
I think if you don't show your kid love, you're on the right track to raising a tough child.
But is that a good thing?
No, it's a horrible
It's
thing.
not a good thing to raise a tough child.
Unless you're trying to make like a fucking Khabib or something.
So raising a tough kid is not
Or a
good
serial
thing.
killer.
You're just going to raise
Same
a
thing.
bully.
No, not quite, but almost.
Kamar, you cannot get this fucking Travis Kelce touchdown. This is crazy. Nor can you get your fucking Josh Allen.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Joe really had a hard-on for the possibility of false flag in the Middle East conflict, only based on the fact that we have false flags and that it's story old as time.
Well, knowing what we know about Netanyahu,
Well, they're protesting him
I
right now.
don't think
apparently.
anything's off the table. That guy is fucking a menace to society.
Shady. They're protesting his government in the street right now.
What
apparently.
at the beginning of the episode was Joe like so outraged at
Genghis Khan.
oh yeah, where he's like trying to school, and I'm thinking you've listened to one
I know, you've
documentary. Lex has probably read 17 books from different authors with different
Yeah.
viewpoints.
Yeah.
Like, slow your roll there, fucking Joe
Well,
Know-It-All.
he's offended
like
because
when-
Lex said he was progressive.
It's like when Finkelstein was debating Destiny, and he's like, "You, young men, have read 4 books, and I have gone to Israel many times." He's like,
But we really have to look at it.
what do we have to look at?
Well, he was saying men conquer, but women organize and run. And maybe that's where our shortcoming has been this whole time.
Yeah, I think that's why you need a good balance in society, because you have. It's the same reason.
Christia Freeland, come on down.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Whatever. He always has some witty thing.
It's what he wanted
Keep
to
going,
hear,
Kumar.
Matt.
Yeah.
And that's what you got.
No, but do you guys don't agree? We should definitely try to get the best female candidate to run for prime minister.
And if she's the best, then she'll win. But we don't put in a lesser candidate because she's a woman,
I guess that's the problem with
which
our
is
system.
Freelander.
We do.
Because the Liberal Party decides who that is, and then
Yeah, problem. We don't get to vote on that person.
what about?
But they don't get to vote on that person either, because if that was the case, Bernie would be the fucking president.
well, our system maybe not be as corrupt as theirs.
I mean, they're both pretty corrupt. I'm just pointing out that they have the same problems we do.
I wonder, do you think there should be more of an approach of cleaning up your own backyard before you worry about your neighbors? I guess that's directly involved with foreign aid and stuff. If we overextended to help other countries in the guise of helping here, but then we're struggling.
First
Yeah.
off, you can't lend money if you're in debt. That's like economics 101.
It's-
If I have 6 credit cards that are maxed out and my account is in overdraft, I physically cannot lend you money. You could come and ask me. I can't. So I don't know how a country does it.
Well, because they print more money.
No, I know, but it's
yeah.
fucking heinous. It's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the
I know.
craziest thing
It's-
ever.
It's crazy.
It's nuts to say we're $50 billion.
do it,
Yeah.
we do it, And again, I don't want to harp on this, but this is all out of the Klaus Schwab school of evil. Like, it's all about the immigration. It's all about letting the people in. It's all about paying for other people's wars.
Indentured servitude. These countries are just always in debt.
Yeah, sure.
But I would, like, the people working on the homeless, their vision statement should be having to find a new job in 5 years because we solve homelessness. All the big weapons contractors would be to turn into a sanctuary or something, but they don't have that goal of peace.
If only there was a lot of money to be made in peace.
I mean, you guys forget, like, no one's going to stop buying. No country's going to not arm themselves. Like, even if there was world peace right now, if everyone agreed, like, we're all going to stop.
You would still have to have some sort
Everyone's
of
still going to get an army. Everyone's still going to buy.
I mean, you probably wouldn't have to spend like $27 trillion
I agree.
on it or whatever the
but
fuck it
he's
is.
acting like they have to go to business tomorrow. And I'm just saying that's not the case. There just isn't. It would be cut in half, which is a big deal for them.
I mean, it would
obviously.
probably be more than cut in half because not only would you not have to pay as much to defend your own country, but you also wouldn't be making arms for other countries, right? Like, that's a lot of the military industrial complex. They're going to fund America and whoever they're fighting.
Yeah, but they can still keep in mind all those other countries are still going to want to arm themselves too. So you still get to sell those guns. None of that goes away. You just sell less.
Well, you also wouldn't need, like, if nobody was spending a ton of money on their military, there wouldn't be all these like advances in weaponry. So you'd be fine with your Apache helicopters. You wouldn't need stealth bombers or Tic Tacs or whatever the fuck. Like, so these drones that they're seeing in New Jersey, and then it's happening all over the world. Like,
except for here.
Britain. No, we saw them here. Britain, everywhere. If you were China, okay, and you developed this new drone that could go whatever, undetected by radar or something, wouldn't you bust it out there and try and get as much information as you can from everybody, like get while the sun is shining? Because it's not going to be long before they figure out what your shit is.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know, just an idea.
I just feel like they already have all that info.
I mean, can you ever have to data is king, right? So
Yeah, but I just mean, as far as, just hear me out. I'm talking about just a drone, like a drone flying above head. Like, I'm talking about, I agree with you. If they could tomorrow plug into our internet and steal all the data that way, of course they would take that. But I'm just talking about, like, from a purely, we have this thing flying. They already have all that, right? Balloons, fucking drones, satellites. Like
the other countries, though, like Sweden and Germany, they're immediately said, shoot these things down. Like, America's the only one that's like, oh no, it's fine.
And they shot them down?
I mean, as far as we know, I don't know.
Very interesting.
I mean, I feel like if they shot them down, we would know then, like.
No, because it might not become public. Like, if you're Germany and you shoot down a drone, the media isn't going to know. You do what you do because you're fucking the government.
I get it, but Germany might come out and say, we know for a fact this was a Chinese, you know what I mean?
They might, or they might just keep their fucking mouth shut and start making plans, you know?
Yeah.
Pulling
out everyone's teeth.
Or there's a lot of fucking UFOs out there lately, you know?
Yeah.
Lex is going to do what Lex does. Do you think he is virtuous?
Yeah.
In doing this to
I think he
try
means
to achieve world peace?
He means well. I know.
I don't think Lex is doing any of this to be rich or famous.
I
think
agree.
he thinks that I have this platform, I can make a difference, and he's just barking up the wrong tree.
He's one of the good guys.
Well, what he should have done is continued to do his podcast exactly like he was doing it. Get really interesting people on to let us know that there are alternatives out there to, like, whatever, not to have on. It's like when Mark Maron has Obama on, you know? It's just jumping the shark. It's like you had a thing. You were bringing on people, blah, blah. You were fine. Whoa.
Thank God that wasn't open.
And then, you know, then he brings that guy on and we know that he's completely full of shit. Doesn't ask any of the questions you're looking to be asked.
I think we always fall into this thing, though, where, like,
Yeah, I think that's
I don't know how you expect Lex to.
That's rarer
I don't know
than
how you
common.
expect Lex to fly to Russia to interview Vladimir Putin and ask him hard questions. The guy that
And-
stole Robert Kraft's Super Bowl ring.
I don't expect him to. I don't even think he should try. Is
I
my
agree.
point.
No, I agree.
Have you ever even seen an interview where it's all hard questions?
No.
Like they don't happen.
Yeah.
No. So that exactly my point. Lex isn't making a goddamn difference by having Zelensky on. He's, like Matt said, he's actually become part of the problem. Which is you've now given Zelensky this fucking huge voice to talk to people he would never have been able to talk to.
He humanized them.
To spread more fucking whatever. And it's not just Zelensky, it's whoever. But Zelensky for sure.
Well, and even then, you know, it's funny because Lex he kind of papered over, like, you know, he was like, listen, when you go to war, democracy has to be eliminated. You know what I mean? And then just kind of brushed over that and was like,
Absolutely.
and it's like, well, wait a minute. So you
No,
mean
that was
that Zelensky's just a dictator over there right now? Because like that's what you just said. You just said that this guy
You
planned.
don't switch leaders in the middle of a war.
Yeah.
He also said he had 2 chances already to end this thing. And because he's so goddamn proud, like that's not the leader you want in there. You want a leader who's looking out for the people.
Yeah.
And if this is the best deal, then you fucking take it, whether your ego takes a hit or not.
Yeah. But Lex just fell under the charisma of Zelensky. And here we are.
Listen, if he goes to Qatar, he's never coming back.
That'll be the bridge too far.
He's
Well-
a Jew, right? We're talking about a Ukrainian Jew, Lex Friedman. He's a Jew, right?
He's going to become Robert Kraft's ring.
If he tries
he'll never make
if
it
he
out
tries
of
to play
Qatar.
hardball with Putin, he's never coming back.
You know, Simon, it is interesting because like this friend of mine married this Jewish guy, and I was talking to them, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, we were in the Qatar airport once, and I was like, I'm surprised you haven't been to Qatar, and he looked at me like so dead serious, and he was like, are you fucking
can't go
kidding
to
me?
Qatar.
No, I know, and listen, as a non-Jew, you just don't think that there's like 15 countries that are just completely off limits to you. I mean, keep in mind,
I think it's more than 15, but yeah.
no, yeah, but I'm saying like hardcore, you just wouldn't go to those places. Yeah,
That's not a layover you're taking, Matt. Or they're
that's what I'm.
taking,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, look, that's what they've always say whatever you want about Israel, whether they have enemies because they made them or what. They are surrounded on all sides by people who want to kill them all the time.
It's not helping their cause though. If someone like Netanyahu is,
Absolutely not.
yeah,
It's not helping their cause at all. It's really conflating the issue.
yeah, I agree.
And fuck, he was gone for a while and they brought him back. Like, that's how fucking powerful this guy is.
What's funny too about Israel is like you have this group of people that you hate, and you could, instead of killing them, just show the West that they hate gay people, like that they despise gay people, that it's in their culture to fucking stone gay people to death. All I'm saying is you could use a good propaganda campaign, which you've done forever, as opposed to mass murder. You know what I mean? Now everyone's on their side. You've lost, you know,
Yeah.
like you have gays for Palestine. That's fucking insane. Anyway.
I mean, when you look back, like just the whole making of Israel is just so conflated into the same oligarchs that we were complaining about on the other side.
Yeah. Come on, what else you got? Is that it?
For Lex, yeah, I think. Well, you can, if you have to, you can use your ejaculation to travel through space.
Lex is so funny. Let's just in closing, in closing, it's so funny that Lex is like, you know, the rape like wasn't that like he was kind of like like Genghis Khan. He's like he was kind of anti-rape, Joe. Like this was his thing. Like he did this, but then this was, and then like 20 minutes later he comes back and he's like, it's really been weighing heavy on me, Joe. I kind of didn't give any gravitas to the rape. Like he's just such a nice, like,
He's his own
it's like,
worst
dude,
enemy.
you're never going to get laid that way.
He's got to get out of his way eventually, or he doesn't.
How old is Lex?
How old is Lex? I would
Younger than
guess
me.
that he's like 38.
I was going to say between 39 and 42, but I'll take 38. Yeah, probably somewhere in there.
I'll take 38.
I'm going to say 41, just for kicks.
41.
41.
He's my
Wow,
age.
there
He's
you go.
83, Kamar?
1 year older than J.D. Vance.
Interesting. I'm older than J.D. Vance.
August 15th, 1983.
That's crazy.
I'm
You
older
could
than
be
Lex
vice
Friedman.
president.
No, I definitely
I'm
couldn't.
10 years older than the vice president.
You could
that's
be
fine.
president.
I can't even be vice president.
No,
I give it a
painted
2.
nails, he can't. Oh, I'll give it a 2.5.
I like how he stood up to Joe. I'm going to give it a 3.
Oh, there you go.
Jesus.
Simon coming through in the clutch, giving Lex the fucking flowers. All right, that's an episode. If you made it this far, we appreciate, we love you. Maybe, just maybe, you're willing to go a step further. Don't forget, for February is sweeps month, where we try our hardest to get to 1,000 patrons, which means we're about 900 short. So if you know 900 people that have $5 a month they want to donate to,
You're doing that wrong. Everyone just has to tell one person.
sure, yeah. But if you do have 900 friends
Yes,
and you
tell
did
them.
want to convince
That's
all of them,
easier.
that helps. That's
That's easier.
That's going to push this thing along a lot better. Head over to patreon.com/JREE podcast for that $5
What are
a month.
you doing, frying eggs?
He's cooking, yeah. For that $5 a month, you'll get the post shows, the show we shoot the shit. You'll also get old episodes. This won't age well. The show where we went back and listened to old episodes, did the same shit we do here. You'll get the moon debate. We might be trash, garbage, whatever it was. I can't remember what we called it. Some other IP we stole. That's it. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you have a great week. We hope you enjoy your weekend. Go Bills, go. And as usual,
Keep your eyes open. Kamar, that's for you. Keep your eyes open.